Kyla to pitch in here if she can as well, if she's had a chat with the Albury camp. No Jacob Conlon out there, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, he's certainly not out there on the ground at the moment. You would have thought he would have made his way out there by now. So as we touched on before, Pandy, with Play HQ, that Elliot Powell was named as an emergency on that, so somebody has had to come out of the side. Looks like it is Jacob Conlon, which is going to fill a massive hole in that forward half of the ground for the Tigers today.
Elliot Powell is the player who has replaced him. He's definitely out there as well. Elliot Powell named as an emergency. So not a bad replacement, Luke Francis.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Two completely different players. One's obviously a key forward, one's a midfield winger, but not a bad replacement for a key forward in Jacob Conlon.
Yeah, they got some depth, haven't they, the Albury Tigers, Panda? Very, very good club, and we saw some very handy players running around in the twos, didn't we? Yeah. Freaky. And just mention the other guy from Southport, Panda
King running around in the twos.
Who's in the
today.
twos? So we understand he could even come into the ones lineup in the next few weeks.
Well, who knows? We absolutely have no idea about that one. I'm guessing Albury will keep it under wraps a little bit. Kylie, I know you're down there next to the Albury bench. It is confirmed that Jacob Conlon's not out there today.
Is confirmed. Not much more detail than that, fellas, as you'd imagine.
There we go. I didn't think that...
So well done, Freaky. Good pickup.
Didn't think that they would let us know too much more about that, which is... fair enough. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries not far away. It is 1:59, so we're a minute away from starting this one. Kylie, I'm going to throw you under the bus down here. Do you know which end of the team are kicking at?
You know, when I was chatting to the lads, I had my back to them. I had one job.
That's okay.
Where are we kicking?
You just had to say that way, Kylie.
We'll find out in about 30 seconds' time. Who are you picking in this one, Freaky, and why, please?
Well, I'm probably still going to have to lean just towards the Tigers today. I think, obviously, with Jacob Conlon now being in out, it's probably going to make the game a little bit closer. And obviously, with the wet conditions as well, I think, Lukey, that it's going to probably suit not having that extra tall. Might bring the smalls into the game a little bit more. But I think Albury will still have enough, Lukey, to be able to get the chocolates today.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Freaky. I was Tigers during the week. I'm Tigers now. With Conlon out, I'm still going with the yellow and black. I'm going to say 3 goals. What about you, Blake Escott? Which way are you going, the Maggies or the Tigers?
Maggies in an upset for mine.
Okay.
I think Wangaratta can win and they can get their season back on track. And if they do that, you watch for a big celebration. And I tell you what, a real statement from the Wangaratta Magpies to say, hey, do not forget about us. I like the inclusion of Brad Melville. I think their lineup looks incredibly even without Ben Reid. And they're a side that match up traditionally really well with Albury. Beat them twice last year, and I think that they can win today.
Yeah, good decision. Yeah, I like it.
So we're not too far away from getting underway. Players are moving to their positions here at the Albury Sports Ground. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries. It looks like the Wangaratta Magpies will kick to the Smollett Street end. So to the Botanic Gardens end, and the Albury Tigers will kick to the Noriel Park end of the sports ground. The umpire holds the footy up. Here's Lukey Francis for McRae Motors on O&M Live. It's the Tigers and the Magpies.
Muller and Knowles, two giants of the O&M, and away they go. Muller got the best of it. Sharrock grabbed it. And then the ball goes to Knowles. It ends up with him. He swings around, gets the hand passed off to Melville, then on to Sharrock, and on the boot they get their first forward entry, the Maggies. Newton takes the mark. What a start for the black and white stripes. This would be absolutely perfect in the first probably 20 seconds, Freaky.
Yeah, big play for the Magpies to start the game early. Obviously, Michael Newton coming off a massive game last week where he kicked 10 goals against North Albury. Confidence would be really high. His second half against Yarrawonga the week before, I thought he was the best player for Maggie, so confidence running high if he can pop this one through early, Lukey.
Yeah, he's hitting some form. Mick Newton in season 2023. No, that one to the broadcast side, and it's gone through for one behind. First score on the Steel Line scoreboard, 1-0, the Maggies lead, and we've gone, I reckon, probably about 40 seconds on the Macca's time clock, Panda.
So Lucas Conlon just sends a big kick up the guts of the Albury Sports Ground. It's hacked forward here by the Tigers. They're out the back. Running onto this one is Luke Daly. Inside 50. Beautiful pick up onto Powell. Transition footy as it's sliding through. It's through for a point. I was looking in the goal square at the other end. All of a sudden the ball's in attack for the Tigers. Just like that. It's through for a minor score. One behind each here on the Steel Line scoreboard. We have played about a minute and a half here in this first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. Barrett kicks out of defence for the Magpies.
He does, and he comes broadcast side to McVeigh. Dropped a mark. Regathered though, got the handball inside. And the Maggies have it through Norton. Just got it on his boot. And it's marked by Daniel Saunders. just left of the interchange gates, down in front of our broadcast position. Gee, that went short. Umpire said play on to Sharrock, back to Daniel Saunders, just has to lay it on the boot, goes to the half-forward flank. Porter got hands to it, came to ground, and Melville has taken in a tackle by, looks to be Hillary. Yes, it is.
Hillary, yep.
And the umpire's going to take it, Panda.
So we've played around 2 minutes here on the Macca's time clock. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries here on 2AY and O&M Optus TV. As the Magpies hack it forward through Sharrock, the number one contested player in the game. Garlett, interesting kick off the ground. It might work out in the end in defence. It's been marked by O'Hara. Wants to move the footy quickly. They flick it across the last line of defence. Conlon comes back to the broadcast side, and it's marked by George Hall and Smith. Still in his own defensive 50. Broadcast side shows a bit of candy. His kick was partially touched. Falls the way of Hodgson onto Muller. And he kicks straight up the guts, and it's in the midst of Elliot Powell.
Powell moves it on to Gaynor. They're coming for the Tigers. Josh, just a wobbly old kick going in board. Bourdignon got a double fisted to it, and it's gone through for one behind. So good build-up. But Gaynor's kick wasn't too crash hot, and Bourdignon's been able to take it across the line for one behind, Freaky.
Yeah, just interesting to note that Dan Saunders is keeping pretty close checking on George Hall and Smith. We saw a couple of weeks ago that he was able to keep pretty close checking on Willie Wheeler in the second half of their game against Yarrawonga, looking like he's going to be running with Hall and Smith today. Dan
Sharrock with a couple of early 40 winks disposals as well. He started the season on fire for the Magpies. We've got a boundary throw in on the far side of the ground, right in front of the Albury Tigers club room. It looks absolutely packed. Does it up there. The balcony full of spectators. A beautiful place to watch football here at the sports ground. We've gone around 3 and a bit minutes on the Macca's time clock. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries, 2-1. The Albury Tigers lead. Short boundary throw in. Muller read it. Bice goes in there. And on his hands and knees was Knowles for the Magpies. Flicked it to Murray Waite. On to Sharrock again, another 40 winks disposal. Saunders has to get rid of that one. Bice wrapped him up, and it spills over the line for a boundary throw. We'll have another toss back into play in the same position, Lukey Francis.
Dan
Sharrock's
already up to 5 disposals on the 40 wink stat sheet.
Played about 4 minutes.
Muller grabbed it straight out of the ruck and got it down to Hall and Smith. Tried to get it to O'Hara, but Waite came away with it for the Maggies. Then down the line, Wilson. The Albury Tigers missed to fix it. Back there with his toolbox. Comes in again and then scoops it up. On the left foot. Sends it into Bice. So that's good footy. Now squaring kick. It goes to Garlett. He just grabs it in time. McVeigh was on his hammer. Then sends it forward. A nice kick. Heine Hennessy in pursuit of the ball. So too is Laverty for the Tigers. And what's happened here? O'Sullivan, I should say. The ball's gone out of bounds. Heine Hennessy's going to grab it, and he goes inboard quickly. Bice couldn't take it. Maggies have it through Melville. Try to get it to Anderson, but now Duncan picks it up and clears up for the Tigers.
Yeah, he does. Hand passes it to Wilson. Wants to go to the far Wodonga Place side of the ground. Finds O'Hara. It's on the steel line scoreboard. Albury 2, the Magpies 1. O'Hara's kicks a beauty to half forward. Finds Connor O'Sullivan, the Murray Bushranger. Goes inboard to Heine Hennessy, who marks 25 metres out on a slight angle. Great movement by the Tigers.
Yeah, really good vision there by Connor O'Sullivan there to find Colby behind Hennessy. Just in a pocket of space. He was involved in the play earlier where he had the kick in and just sort of lingered on the other side of the 50. Just had the whole half of 50 himself, and really good vision by O'Sullivan to be able to hit him. And Heine Hennessy looking to kick the first goal of the game.
The boy from Holbrook kicked 65 sausage rolls, if you don't mind, last year in the Hume League. Has only kicked the 1 goal in his Albury Tigers career. Make it 2 almost. He's hit the stick through for another minor score. So the Albury Tigers 3 behinds. Wangaratta 1. That's on the steel line scoreboard.
Melville trying to get the handball out to Luke Saunders. They spit it out the back to Van Berlo. They're retreating here, the Maggies. So the press was so good for the Tigers. Barrett with it at the moment. He swapped the blue and white stripes for the black and white stripes this year. Directly turned over to Elliot Powell. Incredibly dangerous kick, and it didn't come off, Freaky.
No, certainly not. Just kicked it straight to Elliot Powell, who looks like to start the game is playing a bit more of a forward role. He's been setting up in the forward half for him in sort of full forward area, and he's got a really good, powerful lead on him. So it looked like he might be able to kick the first goal of the game for the Tigers here.
That's it. So this will be the first major of the game between the Tigers and the Maggies here at the sports ground. Elliot Powell, such a talented player, gets some air on that one, and he gets the Tigers going. They lead 9-1 on the Steel Line scoreboard. We've gone about close to 3 minutes in the opening term, thanks to Macca's Brad Freak.
Yeah, it makes the forward line for Albury without having Jacob Conlon down there a little bit more dynamic and not having the big fella down there and you putting Elliot Power down there. It looks like, you just look at it now, it's fairly short. Obviously, they've got Connor O'Sullivan, Cole Behind, Hennessy down there, but a lot of other small boys in and around there to get at their feet and be able to work hard. We're
going about close to 6 Panda. My clock's running slow.
That's okay.
Here.
You've slept in a little bit. Hey, Kylie King on the boundary for the Newie. Either side been able to make rotations yet?
Yeah, a couple of rotations. Patrick Warner's just headed on, and also Jake Page for Albury just then.
So a free kick in the middle of the ground. It's going the way of the Wangaratta Magpies. It's Dane Porter back in the lineup. First game since round one. On to Sharrock. He's at half forward. Kicks it to a dangerous position. Moore was he held on to. Wasn't able to grab the mark. Paddy Warner goes in there. Lots of players around this footy. Ball's on the deck. Spills out the back to Hillary. He just picks it up and clears it. Lands fortuitously here to Tommy O'Brien. He runs away and he finds the man on the far wing. It's Luke Daly for the Tigers.
Daly, he's got a runner. O'Hara, he grabs it now. He wants to come inboard. O'Sullivan provided a shepherd, or got in the road if you like. And Daly back to O'Hara. And then a low ball going in to O'Sullivan. Now he's about 50 out. And he's hard up against the fence.
He's a star, this kid, mate.
On the clubhouse side, he's handled it off. O'Hara will get another crack at it. That's about his third possession in the last 30 seconds. Knowles knocks it across the boundary line for one behind. So 10 plays one on the Steel Line scoreboard. We've gone about 7.5 on the Macca's time clock as we go to Blake Escott for McRae Motors.
First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries. Round 5, Tigers and the Magpies. The Magpies won for the first time in over a decade here last year. Lukey Francis, it's been a bit of a graveyard for him as they kick down the far wing. They find touch and a deliberate's paid.
The second one today already. There was another one just out here on the half-forward flank. It's the second one they've paid today.
So there's a clear message for mine then that they're going to turn the head up on deliberates in the O&M.
Yeah, the trend it's starting to turn, isn't it, Panda?
Interesting. So the Tigers win a free kick. They go up to half forward. Isaac Mullett tries to get around Knowles. O'Brien's hand pass was a hit and hope. And we got a boundary throw in inside 50. The Noriel Park end where the Albury Tigers are kicking to. They lead 10-1 on the Steel Line scoreboard in this first quarter. We've gone 9 minutes. That's on the Macca's time clock.
Let's have a look. Boundary umpire comes in, puts it into play. Kelly, this time up against Knowles. Ground level. Luke Saunders got it back to Bordenyon. Long kick out of the fence. And a big fist from Jesse Wilson, a good defensive one over the back of Laverty, and the ball has gone out of bounds again. So we might go back down to Kylie at ground level. Kylie King for the Newmarket. How are you going down there, Kylie?
Yeah, look, trying to keep tabs of the interchange movements. This has been pretty frenetic, particularly from the Magpies. So many changes in these 7 to 8 minutes.
Albury Tigers 3-0 in season 2023. Had the bye 7 days ago. The Maggies 1-3 this year. Come off that 77-point win against the Hoppers in round 4. And they're on the half-forward flank through Newton. He goes wide to Ellis. And Ellis, the squaring one. Well, Page came in at the right time. Almost saved the day for the Tigers. The Maggies scoop up again, and they've had a shot at goal going down towards the line. That was Sharrock, and it's gone through for one behind. So 10 plays 2 on the Steel Line scoreboard. We've got about 10 minutes in the opening term for Macca's. Panda, we've got, the Maggies still haven't scored a major.
No, they haven't. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, Dan Sharrock running hot, boys. He's up to 7 disposals already on the 40 winks stat sheet. They're going to have to be really careful as they move forward as well today, the Magpies in the wet, with the Luke Conlon and Wilson combination, just so deadly across that half-back line to be able to nullify any forward movement that the Magpies have.
So Isaac Muller has the ball at half-back, far side of the Albury Sports Ground. Kicks it long down the wing. Barrett in the hot seat just fists it over the boundary line right in front of the Albury Tigers home club rooms. And we've got another boundary throw in. So a stop-starty game at the moment. Only the one goal through Elliot Powell. Albury 1-4-10. Wangaratta 2 behinds. That is on the Steel Line scoreboard. As we tick up towards the 11th minute mark, here's the golden voice of O&M Live, Luke Francis for McRae Motors.
So Callum Moore has gone into the ruck now for this contest against Muller. Came down to Hall Smith, did his best to try and get it to a teammate. Power came tearing through. Luke Saunders he ducked into it. Umpire said play on. Good call. Then Porter quickly on that right boot. Muller steaming through. Don't get in his road. You'll get taken out. And then Bice onto Page. And now Alex Jones. Look at the quick hands from the Tigers to Heine Hennessy. Another handball. Powell. Oh, Warner's on his hammer. Powell breaks him. And then he grabs him again. Well done from Warner. Oh, it's been judged as a push.
Push in the back, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
gee.
just a little nudge there, just right in front of the umpire, Ash Broughton, as well. Just a tiny, tiny little nudge. If he actually had it grabbed onto his jersey there, Lukey, I think he would have got pinged holding the ball, but he had the open palm just into his back. So really unfortunate there. Really good chase by Paddy Warner there. It certainly was, but yeah, just a little bit unfortunate there. But Elliot Power going to have a line up for potentially second goal.
That's right, Freaky. So Elliot Powell shoots for an early double. Coming up towards the 12-minute mark in the opening term here at the sports ground. Overcast in Albury, around about 11 or 12 degrees. And Elliot,
Cold.
what's he done? High ball. It's across the face to the broadcast side, and he's kicked a behind. So 11 plays 2 on the steel line scoreboard. Macca's time clock has probably gone about 12 and a half here in the opening term, Pina.
So the Magpies kick a long one out of defence. Heine Hennessy in a tussle there with Murray Wade at ground level. Going in there, Cal Moore just put Hillary on his bum. Heine Hennessy grabbed Hewitt without it, and Harry Hewitt, the young bush ranger, wins the free kick for the Magpies. Onto the left foot of Luke Saunders, who goes down the line. Good body work there by Gilmore on Laverty. Gilmore snaps it down the wing. Right in front of Kylie King. Dan Sharrock picks it up. Another 40 Winks disposal onto Saunders. And here's young Xavier Laverty for the Magpies at half forward. Broadcast side of the sports ground. Too far out to score. A chiselling kick inboard. And Jesse Wilson just punches it over the boundary line in front of Michael Newton. And we've got a boundary throw in. So if you're just joining us here on 2AY, Albury 1-5-11. The Magpies 2 behinds on the steel line scoreboard. We have gone 13 minutes.
Freaky inside 50s, 40 wing stat sheet, opening term.
Yeah, 5 apiece, but Albury just have taken more of their opportunities as they go forward.
Yeah, right about that. Here we go. Boundary umpire. Hurls are back into play. Muller and Cal Moore working closely together. Hall and Smith down in the front of the contest. And then Maggies through Melville. Swings around, puts it on the right boot. Centering kick to Porter. That was classy work from Melville, Bradford.
Yeah, you can see his class there. Just be able to lower his eyes and find that he's played on. Sorry, Lukey.
He has around the body, and that's the Maggies first. He's got it. A beauty from Brad Melville.
It was Matt Grossman, Luke.
He passed it off, did he?
Yep.
Panda, yeah, I had my head down. Fricky said he played on. So Matt Grossman has kicked it for the Maggies.
Sorry, Luke, he confused me as well. I had my head down reading some of my stats and looked up and...
He fooled everyone. Matt Grossman just went past for the hand pass and flicked it off and snapped it beautifully. It was a beautiful
So 11 plays, 8 on the steel line scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone about 14 in the opening term. We'll go back down to Kylie King for the Newmarket, Kylie.
Yeah, Braden O'Hara's just taken to the ground, so keeping those rotations going, that's for sure.
If we go around the grounds quickly, Wodonga out to a quick turning 22-point lead against Myrtleford, and Raiders up by 17 points against North Albury.
So Grossman with the Magpies' first goal in this opening quarter. It's taken 14 minutes here on the Macca's time clock. With strength there, Hall and Smith found a way to get through when there wasn't much space. O'Brien's kick was partially smothered, and we're going to have another ball up. Bang smack in the middle of the Albury Sports Ground. Brad Freak.
For 40 Wings, George Hall and Smith's up to 6 disposals in this first term for the Albury Tigers.
So missed the last couple of games. Played on Easter Sunday against the Pigeons and was one of the best. And there's another clearance from Hall and Smith and on to Gaynor. Good kick to space in front of O'Sullivan. Inside forward 50 up against Grossman, who just worried him out of it. Jones is over this football. He's given away a free kick as Alex Jones. On to Bordenyong. He's going to have it in his own defensive 50. Number 1 in the comp for spoils is Michael Bordenyong. He's been doing it forever. And the Magpies trail by 3 points. Halfway mark of this opening quarter.
Bordenyong and then Wilson over the top. Just with a big defensive 50s everywhere, this guy. And there's a free kick has been given. That one's interesting. Murray Waite's going to pick it up for the Maggies.
You can only assume that would have been for too high. I actually only saw Wilson come over the top, Lukey, so it might have been in the actual contest because Wilson was the third man to the contest and come over the top quickly and punched it out.
That's right, Fricky. So it's ended up with Brad Melville, who started the game well on the right boot. Down the line, a low kick. Gilmore at it, but it's gone across the chalk, and we will have a boundary throw in left of centre. The clubhouse side here at the Albury Sports Ground. And the ball's about to be thrown back into play.
Blake Escott, Brad Freak and Luke Francis and Kylie King, all for McRae Motors on O&M Live. Melville kicks a rangy one to half forward, falls in the lap of Laverty. Now he's a left footer, swings around from 55. Newton out the back, almost hung onto it. He climbed pretty high for Juice. Here's Newton at ground level. Garlett going in and helping out his defence. Gets a 1-2, make it a 1-3 almost. Lucas Conlon didn't give it back to him. And Conlon switches the footy on the far side. It's in the hands of Gaynor. So great movement by the Magpies. The Tigers' defence equal to the task. Gaynor goes really short. Jake Page has it in his own defensive 50. Steel line scoreboard. Tigers 1-5-11. Magpies 1-2-8. Still in this first quarter for A-grade oars and batteries as O'Sullivan rises very, very high. An elite body and pake marker the day, Lukey Francis, and he plays on straight away.
Yeah, it was a beauty, Panda. And down towards the half-forward flank now for the Tigers. Mopping up, though, was Barrett on the boot. About a 30-metre kick down the line and hits Callum Moore. So here come the Maggies. Then he handballs off out wide. Yeah, through Waite, and then Waite on the boot. Gets it inside 50. Newton caught at the back. Lucas Conlon the front. Wins it, and the ball has gone out of bounds just adjacent to the netball courts as we go to Freaky on the 40-week stats.
Yeah, some of the ball movement by Wangaratta has been really good. Get it in quick and early to Juice Newton. Give him an opportunity. You don't want Jesse Wilson and Lucas Conlon filling in his hole. Obviously, he's matched up with Wilson at the moment, but more space is better for Juice.
What about that mark from
O'Sullivan
on the far side there? He is a serious talent. No doubt why he's very highly touted as a potential draft prospect. Look at that kick from O'Hara. Right bank smack in the middle of the ground here. In the hands of Gothard. Murray Bushranger kicks it inside 50. Out the back. Great movement, O'Hara.
Oh.
Creams himself into the pole. Has kicked a Sunjan goal today. He has carried his momentum straight into the point post here, the goal post, and he's down on his haunches. He may have broken a rib almost, O'Hara.
He hit it pretty
Who
hard.
broke the post at Waverley Hill that day, Lukey Francis?
Good question, Panda.
Was it Lee Matthews?
Oh, Lee Matthews,
It
but that
was.
was out of Western Oval, wasn't it?
I'm not sure where it was,
Yeah.
but wowee, that was very close to chopping that post in half.
Yeah, Lou Richards said, what about a He-Man?
So a goal nonetheless. The Tigers 2-5-17. The Magpies 1-2-8. That's on the Steel Line scoreboard. We have played 19 minutes. Kylie King, have you ever seen that before?
No, I haven't. But, you know, Braden O'Hara, you know he's made of tough stuff, so there was no way he was coming off with a bruised rib.
Commence back in the middle. Cal Moore got to handle it. Umpires found a free kick here. It's going to go the way of the Maggies. Dan Saunders. How many now, Freaky? 40-wing stats, Dan Saunders.
Not following Dan Saunders today, unfortunately, Lukey, but he is lighting it up early.
Goes in to Hewitt. Then Hewitt, a quick ball into one out. Newton dropped the mark. Tigers have got to go through Lucas Collin. Duncan Gilmore comes in. They get him in a gang tackle. And the umpire is going to call for 17 plays 8. Opening term here. And gone about 19 in a little minutes, I think, on the Macca's time clock as the ball goes up again. Ground level. Anderson off to Cowmore. Right foot. Yep, they swoop again, the Maggies. So they get their second. 17 plays 14 on the Steel Line scoreboard. Let's go back to Freaky on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, beautiful little underground handball almost from Mark Anderson, just to get it out in the path of Calmore, who just put it out into a bit of space, and a beautiful quick right snap there to get the game back in. And Magpies have been really good. I like the effort and the intensity from Juice in the forward half. He's fighting really well, but really even game as we start the game. If we have a look at the 40-wing stat sheets, looks across the board, 8 inside 50s apiece, so it's very even in that aspect of the game. The ball winners for Dan Sharrock, he's up to 8 disposals in this first quarter. Brad Melville's had 6 for the Magpies. If we look at the Tigers, Jake Gaynor and Braden O'Hara had 5, and George Hall and Smith's up to 7 in his first term.
Kylie King, how are conditions down there on the boundary for the Newmarket Hotel?
Yeah, still not a breath of wind, so it's just a true classic game of footy in these conditions, and the ground has held up really, really well.
Early stages of this Round 5 contest, still in the opening quarter for A-grade oils and batteries, and it's a 3-point lead here to the Tigers. Jeff Garlett started this game beautifully. Looks like he's playing off half-back. As soon as you give someone a pump-up, they turn the footy over. Tyler Norton in the blue boots takes an intercept mark for the Magpies, and he comes right in front of our broadcast position. Albury pool side of the ground. McVeigh not able to mark it. It spills over the boundary line, and we will have it tossed back into play almost in front of Kylie King, who's riding the boundary for the Newmarket Hotel. 2 goals, 5 Albury. lead the Magpies 2 goals to 14. And that is on the Steel Line scoreboard. Lukey Francis for McRae Motors as we tick up towards the 21-minute mark.
Round 5 O&M action. Kelly. Knowles went to ground. Kelly straight on the boot. Ends up with Hewitt. And that's Phoenix Gothard, in fact. So Gothard, he's 55 out. Now he ducks around the man on the mark, which was Smith. Pumps it in. Long ball to a one-on-one back there. O'Sullivan caught at the back in front of Bordignon, trying to find it on the ground. Barrett for the Maggies did nicely. Got it off to Luke Saunders. Luke, he's got Tigers all around him to Norton. Oh, gee. Has to get a high-pressure kick away. High ball to the middle of the ground. Wilson going back with McVeigh. And then Anderson came tearing through. Hillary is there. Picked up by the Maggies. McVeigh got his kick smothered. High pressure footy to be won at the moment. Ball wrapped up. Looks like the umpire will call holding the ball. Gee, I reckon that's hot.
Wow.
Unfair on McVeigh, I sort of thought. And Garlick gets it out to Hillary.
So Jay Hillary for the Albury Tigers. Beautiful kick down the ground. Intercepted and punched over the boundary line from Lukey Saunders. Right in front of Kylie King on the boundary for the Newmarket Hotel.
The teammates were pretty happy with that punch out, and it really allowed them now to set up, find their players and regroup for the Magpies. So, yeah, a very handy punch out for that one.
Tigers by 3. 22 minutes gone on the Macca's time clock. That's on the Steel Line scoreboard. George Hall-Smith and Dan Sharrock on each other at this boundary throw-in. O'Brien's kick didn't go very far. Melville picked it up, put it on the boot quickly. Anderson not able to grab it at half forward. Wilson's kick in the middle of the ground. Dangerous. Clark dropped what he should have taken for the Magpies. Spills to Smith. Able to come boundary side to Chris Knowles. Gaynor drills him. Wow, what a crunching tackle that was from Gaynor on the biggest fella on the ground.
And he's lost his boot too.
That was David and Goliath if I've ever seen it. As Heiner Hennessy takes a one-handed elite body and paint mark of the day at half forward. Inside forward 50 here for the Tigers. He plays on straight away. Kicks it to the hot spot. Out the back, O'Hara not able to mark. Ellis out the back, reprise for the Magpies.
Ellis, and then a low ball trying to find a teammate, and Porter had to get a hot hand pass away, but the Tigers come through Powell. Has a shot on the sticks. Grossman just got a hand to it, and it's gone through for one behind. Yeah, what about the tackle of Josh Gaynor on Chris Knowles? He lined him up.
That was David and Goliath.
Yeah, he didn't see him coming, Knowles.
Bang.
Blindsided, and Josh just, the timing was absolutely spot on. Grossman with it in the back pocket for the Maggies. They trail by 4 points in the opening term. We've gone probably about 24 minutes for Maccas. Ellis, about 15 out from his own goal, comes to Barrett. Heiner Hennessy manning the mark. Now he's got a short option in Porter. Elects to go past him. Garlett missed it. Ended up with Melville. Oh, the umpire said play on. Well, that was interesting. Ooh. And then he's called for, what do you think, Freaky?
Yeah, a little bit stiff there, but really good work there by Jeff Garlett to really nullify the space, even though he did get called play on there. So good to get another ball up, just on centre wing, probably just favouring the Albury Tigers' end.
Boundary, a ball up, I should say. Isaac Muller with a beautiful tap down. Elliot Powell, another clearing kick inside forward 50. Well done down there in defence, Saunders. Luke Saunders against O'Hara takes a nice defensive mark. Nice rebounding kick finds Ellis. Jesse Smith gets the handball receive, and all of a sudden the Magpies are out on the fat side of the Albury Sports Ground. Just missed Warner when he should have grabbed it. Laverty, left foot, wants it. Wilson knew it. In fact, it was Gilmore. Applied a strong tackle. He's given away a free kick as Hamish. And Laverty for the Magpies is going to have a free kick right in front of the Albury Tigers club rooms. The Magpies trail by 4 points. 18 plays 14. The Tigers on the Steel Line scoreboard lead this one. First quarter, action for A-grade oils and batteries.
Here he is, Laverty, the tall Maggie. He wants to go back to Barrett. He's been very good. A lot of touches in this opening term.
7 for Barrett in this first time on 40 wings.
Thanks to Brad Freak as we goes back to virtually where it came from. Porter went by him. Bice is watching on. That was Gilmore on the ground. Ball's gone out of bounds. And again, we'll have another throw-in. We'll go back down to Kylie for the Newmarket. Yeah. Kylie King, what's the story down there at the moment, Kylie?
Yeah, look, I just wanted to do a little shout-out for Luke Saunders, because that was great bodywork against Braden O'Hara there, and if he hadn't managed to muscle him out, I reckon that was a certain possession for O'Hara and another Tigers goal. So well done for the young fella for the Magpies in defence.
The Magpies at half forward. I like the look of Laverty. He was taken high and wins a free kick at half forward. tied up against the boundary. 65 from home. Plays on straight away. Kicks it as long as he can. 1-on-1 down there. Newton got the front position. Did everything but take the mark. The kick out of defence was intercepted by Porter. Too far out to score from him, so he sits it to the top spot. Why not when you got Cal Moore there? Did all the strength work, not able to mark it, and Page just hacks it out of defence for the Tigers.
He does. Bouncing ball. Kelly got it to the advantage of O'Hara. He tried to handle it to Hawlon Smith. Got it. Now O'Hara has another chance. Just quickly a hurried kick. McVeigh goes in for the Maggies. Try to dish it out to Sharrock. Now Hawlon Smith again on Tobias. Hurry kick forward here for the Tigers. Knowles. Miss Clark. Unfortunate. Luke Daly, look at this vision. Looking for McMenamin. McMenamin runs onto it now. Left foot snapper goal. What about the vision from Luke Daly? Finding McMenamin in space. Freaky, that was great footy from the veteran Luke.
Yeah, beautiful kick there. Just to put it out in a bit of space. It was a bit hot in the area that they were in, and they tucked in that forward pocket near the old scoreboard there. Just put it out in a bit of space for Braden McMenamin to run into. But beautiful left-footed snap there to finish that one off. Really classy finish by him there. A much improved player, I must say, this year for McMenamin. Showed signs last year, but the start that he's had to this season's been fantastic. So they've got a real player there in Braden McMenamin off across the half-back line.
The Tigers 3-6-24 lead the Maggies 2-2-14 on the steel line scoreboard. Macca's time clock has probably gone about 27 and a half here as we go to Blake Escott for McRae Motors.
That was wonderful vision from Luke Daly and a cool snap from Mick Meneman. Good footy by a good footy club in the Albury Tigers. Elliot Powell's hand pass wasn't all that great. Going in there and getting ripped off the footy was McVeigh. Big Knowlesy gave away a free kick. No, he won one for a high. Did Big Chris Knowles, or is it back here for the Alex Jones incident, Freaky?
Yeah, I didn't actually see it, but the umpire is talking to Alex Jones right smack bang in the middle of the ground on Dan Sharrock. On Dan Saunders. Sorry, so I can only imagine it was an incident involving those two.
So Dan Saunders pumps the footy forward for the Magpies. Good fist late there from Muller on Callum Moore. Anderson's hand pass was pretty ordinary. Jones intercepts onto McMenamin, the recent goal scorer who just lost his footing at the last minute and slipped over. Anderson picked it up onto Knowles. Kick inside forward 50 as the siren sounds here as the Magpies go into attack. Overall, a pretty good opening quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. The Tigers pretty dominant and they take a 10-point lead. 3-6-24, the Albury Tigers, the Magpies 2-2-14. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Live on 2AY.
Yeah, welcome back to the Albury Sports Ground on a Saturday afternoon. Round 5, O&M action. It is the Tigers at home to the Magpies, and at the first break, the Tigers lead 3-6-24 over the Magpies 2-14. So a 10-point break to the yellow and black. Freaky, what did you make of the first quarter?
Yeah, if we have a look at the 40 Wings stat sheet, they're very even inside the team stats. A couple of centre clearances each, 12 inside 50s to Albury, 10 to Wangaratta, 3 marks inside 50 for Albury, 2 to Wangaratta. So very even in the aspect, and that probably displays the game that we are seeing, Luke. It's a very even contest out there at the moment. If we have a look at the possession getters, look at George Hall and Smith, who's the leading disposal getter on our stat sheet. He's up to 10 disposals for Albury, 7 for Elliot Powell, and 6 each for Braden O'Hara and Jake Gaynor. On the Wangaratta side of things, Dan Sharrock and Brad Melville, both up to 9 disposals each, and Cam Barrett off the half-back line, he's had 7 as well. If we have a look at the Optus quarters best for that first quarter, I'd say Brad Melville and Dan Sharrock in that midfield area for the Wangaratta Magpies were their Optus quarters best. And if we have a look at the Albury Tigers side of things, it'd be George Hall and Smith, who's been really influential in the middle of the ground for them. Elliot Powell as well has been really good. Had 7 disposals, but already had 4 shots at goal as well. So he's having a big impact on the game if he can get his kicking boots on.
Yeah, 4 shots for Elliot Powell, Panda.
Really quickly, the Ray White Rural Netball update as well, thanks to our great friends at Ray White Rural. Wangaratta too good for Albury here at the Sports Ground. Yarrawonga were too good for Lavington, a high-scoring one, 58-54. The Raiders in a tight one over North Albury, 48-45, and Myrtleford with a convincing win over Wodonga, 65-27. Some other quickly freaky Ovens and Murray games as well. Instead, we'll go to Kylie King while Freaky gets that up. Kylie, what was some of the messages from Ben Reid and the coaching staff of Albury at quarter time?
Yeah, well, I've really spent a lot of the time then listening to Ben Reid. Basically, the feeling with Magpies is we're certainly getting enough of the ball. We just need to show some composure. He says we're good around the stoppages. The matchups, we're getting them wrong and back from time to time, so pay more attention to that. And back our skills inside into attack. So pretty positive stuff, really. He's pretty happy, the coach.
If we go around the grounds in the Ovens and Murray at the moment, a 2-point ball game in favour of Yarrawonga down at the JC Low Oval. Wodonga Bulldogs are up by 11 points against Myrtleford at Martin Park. Wodonga Raiders are up by 14 points against North Albury at Bunton Park at the moment in the Ovens and Murray.
Second quarter action not far away from getting underway. Thanks to Wodonga Pumps and Mowers here on O&M Live. It's a 10-point lead. Albury up against Wangaratta. 24 plays 14 as the umpire tosses this one back up. Muller rose high, brought it to ground. Power went in quick and it goes back to Muller. And he gets the clearing kick up to half forward. Ahina Hennessy tried to punch that one inside 50. Gothard, his hand pass was intercepted by Murray Waite. who sees it over the boundary line right in front of the Terry Cross can bar here at the sports ground. Couple of hot chocolates and a couple of refreshments over there today, Luke Francis, at the sports ground. So it's tossed back into play. A whistle, as you can hear on our effects mic, and a free kick here to Chris Knowles. In fact, it's Dan Sharrock, so that must be for a hole. Brad Freak, quickly for 40 winks.
Yeah, it must have been off the ball there. But Dan Sharrock, he's coming out for his 10th disposal of the game already.
Goes short to Grossman. Still at half back. Wodonga play side of the sports ground. As we go to Luke Francis for Macrae Motors.
Grossman, long kick. Out to the outer side. Of the clubhouse side, Knowles takes the mark, wastes no time, spears it inside 50 for the Maggies, just bounce in front of Callum Moore. Lucas Collin out the back, cleans up for the Tigers, gets the handball off to O'Hara, who had a few touches in the opening term, and then he comes broadcast side, bounces into the hands of Barrett, high ball going in, Anderson sits under it, knocked away by Duncan. Porter had a crack at it, thought he was held in the end, and then the ball's tied up. Hall and Smith might have ended up on the bottom of the pack with the ball, and the umpire is going to call for it, Freaky.
Yeah, we can just see Wangaratta's game plan today is to get the ball in nice and quick when they've got Newton and Moore in that forward half. Don't let the roll-off defenders of Albury get back and fill that hole, and it's really noticeable when they do get to 60, 70 metres out, they're just going long and direct quickly.
Isaac Muller was almost held in that ruck contest as the Tigers clear it forward. Whistle again. Lots of free kicks in this game at the moment, and there's a free kick here to Chris Knowles, who's got it in the middle of the ground, comes wide to the half-forward flank. Broadcast side, Dan Saunders has it. Beautiful kick inboard. In fact, it wasn't. Over the head of Laverty and Wilson. This is Jesse for the Tigers. Marks it as easy as you like. Wants to play on. He's going to hug the boundary. Beautiful smother there from Laverty to lock it in his attack and get a boundary throw in another restart here for the Wangaratta Magpies. That's a team lifter. Ben Reid and the coaching staff next to us will love that. And they get another restart. The Magpies 14, the Tigers 24. No score in this second quarter. We've played 2 minutes of the Macca's time clock.
Yeah, Jesse Wilson like that kick. Being smothered. Such a great defensive player. So unlike him. But he'll be back. Moore, Muller, Hall Smith coming through. He's brought down by Melville. He's called it a dump tackle, Freaky.
It was the umpire that was in the middle of the ground that called that one. He probably had a little bit better a view of it compared to the umpire there, but
it's harsh.
Very harsh.
Bice plays onto the outer side, and he's got Gilmore if it sits up for him. So you're going to pick it up. No, just taps along the ground. Now he picks it up. And Hamish on the boot, about a 15-metre kick down the line, picks up Hillary. So the Tigers, left of centre wing. On the clubhouse side, Hillary moves it on, 25 metres down the line to Powell, but they are very wide. Adjacent to the netball courts, 24 plays 14. The Tigers up, if you've just tuned in, on 1494 2AY. Opening turn brought to you by Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. Powell. Now high ball going in, a dangerous one for the Maggies. Out the back here, O'Brien trying to pick it up off to Hall Smith. Left foot, whistle. He's got a throw.
A throw?
Yeah.
What happened there? Against O'Brien? I don't know about that.
It must have been against O'Brien because obviously Hall Smith was lining up for the shot there. Obviously, I didn't quite catch it. Didn't look like a throw, but in wet conditions it is obviously a bit slippery and greasy. It might come out a bit easier.
Yeah, a couple of contentious umpiring decisions in the last couple of moments, Panda.
Yeah, lots of free kicks being paid in this one at the minute. Just let the boys play. As Barrett, beautiful kick out of defence. And Laverty and those big dukes marks it right in front of our commentary position. Wants to wheel and go as we spoke about on that left foot. Not a great kick. Oh, that was almost a free kick there to the Tigers. Newton sells a bit of candy. Left foot snap, Juice misses to the near side. Had a handball option, but when you've kicked a lot of goals like Juice, you warrant a shot on goal. It's through for a minor score. The Magpies 15, Albury 24. That is on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard as the Tigers bring it out of defence on the far side.
Wait, quickly on the boot. Melville, left foot going in towards Newton. Moore at the front. Here he goes. Cal swings around, centering kick. Who's under it? Laverty, and it just came out. Fumbling now. He picks it up, and he's brought to ground by Hillary. Big, strong tackle. Another dump. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really liking this at the moment, Lukey.
I thought I thought that one might be there, but I don't know about the previous one. Freaky?
It was very close. Laverty probably had enough time with the ball for it to be paid, holding the ball as well. It was just the way that he was brought to the ground in the end, which has obviously gone against the Albury Tigers there. But again, I think that's a very tight decision to make, but it was there, but it depends what was first, the dump or the holding the ball. It depends what you see first, I guess, Lukey.
Yep. Yeah, good call. So Xavier Laverty with a shot of the sticks to the Hume Street end. Is that one going to make it in? No, just through for one behind. So 24 plays 16 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. We've gone about 5.5 in the second term on the Macca's time clock. Kylie King, Brad Freak, Blake Escott and Luke Francis, brought to you by McRae Motors.
So a couple of interesting umpire adjudications here for dump tackles. As O'Hara hand passes to Wilson. Great movement here for the Albury Tigers. Not a great kick inside forward 50, just kicks to space. And the Magpies want deliberate here, and the umpire does not pay it. So we've got a boundary throw in 30 metres around from the Albury Tigers goal. Wasn't a great kick inside 50 there from Jesse Wilson.
That passage of play there is where they're missing Jacob Conlon today, just to have that lead-up option. Obviously, really good hands by Braden O'Hara to get it over to Jesse Wilson and run into space, but normally having the Jacob Conlon lead-up option, not there today. That's where they're definitely missing him.
Brad Freak on our 40-wing stat sheet and Kylie King on the boundary for the Newey. Murray Waite, clearing kick. And O'Hara plays a little bit of soccer. Lionel Messi style, just punts it inside forward 50 if you don't mind. Over this football is Saunders. Waite gets it back to Smith, and his kick's a shocker. Out of bounds on the full, and a free kick here to the Albury Tigers, 80 metres from goal. Still no goal in this second quarter. We've played over 7 minutes. Albury 3-6-24. The Magpies 2-4-16. That's on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard.
Josh Gaynor, 70 from home. Have a Smollett Street end. Goes with a spearing one, trying to pick up Muller. Melville picks it up for the Maggies. Gets it on the boot. Hurried kick up towards almost centre-half back. Now the back flank. Laverty just knocked it out to Sharrock. Handballs up to Saunders, then off to Porter. And here's Melville again. He's away. Hodgins is after him. But Melville got it on the boot. Now Cowmore and Gilmore. What will happen here? Cowmore's picked it up. He's trying to fight off Gilmore. Couldn't get rid of him. Out to Ellis. Ellis has a chance to lob it in. Up towards Clark. Has it beaten him across the line? Umpire's going to pay it. And the goal umpire's quite happy with that. Freaky?
Yeah, really good play. Really smart play by Calmore to get the hands back inside to Ellis. He was getting run down by Gilmore, gave himself a bit more time and their team a bit more time. Found Clark fairly close to goal.
Jackson comes around and he kicks it for the Maggies, so it's 2 points in it now. The Tigers 24, lead Wang 22 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock's gone about just over 8 minutes, we think, here in the second term as we go back down to Kylie King for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, we rave about the Tigers' defence ordinarily, but really 3 Magpies players pretty well left, mainly unchecked, I would have thought, in that last passage of play.
Really good work there by the Magpies. Probably their best passage of the play of the day as well, get it down the line, as Kylie said there. Just too much space in that forward half for the Magpies to operate in. If you're going to give a team with the quality that the Magpies have got, you're going to give it. It's going to punish you at some stage as well, as we have a slight delay in the game as we're just trying to get the footy back back here at the moment. In the other games in the Ovens and Murray at the moment, Lavington now with a 5-point lead against Yarrawonga, 22-27.
Yeah.
Bulldogs kicked away a little bit against Myrtleford, 42-13, and a 7-point lead to the Wodonga Raiders, 19-11 in that game.
Over North Albury in that one. So Albury here at the sports ground lead by 2 points, 24-22. An arm wrestle here in the second quarter for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers here on O&M Live. Muller's forward hand pass was smothered at a crucial moment, but he was able with strength just to march his way through a couple of Magpies. Kicks to half forward, Heine Hennessy at ground level. Was he pushed in the back? Umpire says no, the Magpies clear, but it's going to come straight back because that man, Isaac Muller, takes an intercept mark. Bang smack right in the middle of the sports ground. Nice kick to the half forward flank. Grossman just nudged Heine Hennessy under the football. Wins it back for the Magpies. Ellis liked his game today. Flicks a hand pass onto a teammate who gets it on the boot pretty quick down the line. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in right in the front. On the full, is it, Brad Freak?
Yeah, just on the full there. That
well picked up for 40 winks and a free kick here to the Albury Tigers. So second quarter action for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. And on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard, it's a 2-point lead here to Albury. The only goal in this second quarter for Jackson Clark.
Hodgson with the ball under his supporters on the veranda there, the clubhouse side. Grossman has taken the mark though for the Maggies. Straight on the boot, wants to go inboard to Sharrock. Finds him. They're inside defensive 50. Kicks one into the corridor, finding Ellis. Ellis looking at options. Gets the hands off to Norton, and Norton in the blue boots. Now gets one to the half-forward flank to Clark. So they're linking up well here, the Maggies. And then a low driving kick going in. Oh, just couldn't get Melville. Another whistle over the shoulder. So
what was that for?
As Blake Escott said, we've had a few interesting umpiring decisions. That one was over the shoulder, Peter.
So it's a free kick here to Brad Melville, who's going to line up, what, you'd say 45 metres out on a slightish angle. Bugger all of an angle, Brad Freakin. He is all class. Kicked 3 goals in the VFL only a couple of weeks ago against Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. Regardless of what you're thinking about the umpire at the moment, Wangaratta are definitely on top of the game at the moment, so they will deserve this lead if Brad Melville can put it through.
Yeah, this will put the Maggies in front, and he's got it, Melville. Brad's kicked it, so they hit the front. 28 plays 24 on the CMV's Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second turn, the Macca's time clock has gone about 11 and a half. Freaky, give us our standout stat on the 40-wing stat sheet at present.
Yeah, in this second quarter, Brad Melville himself there, he's up to 4 disposals. Dan Sharrock just continuing their really good form from that first quarter as well, kicking that goal there as well. As we just touched on, this term has definitely been all the Magpies. They've been able to get back into this game and right back on in the lead as well. It's probably been some of the best footy that they've played all season. They've played this quarter, so might be just starting to get the engine going again.
So they've kicked 3 of the last 4 goals here, the Wangaratta Magpies, and that was clearly their best movement of the day. Ended up in a goal with Brad Melville. Muller with another clearance onto Hall, and Smith gets it on the boot hurriedly. Went through the hands there of Barrett, just slipped through those fingers. Porter goes in for the Magpies, helping out his defence. Might have got one in the back. Hand pass out the back to Norton, and they just got more spring in their step here, the Wangaratta Magpies. They're definitely owning this footy. The Tigers force a turnover. Whistle. Free kick here to Hall and Smith. That one was there. Copped a little bit of late attention from McVeigh. The Tigers don't like it. Hodgson's in there, getting in his grill a little bit. It's a free kick here to Hall and Smith. Still inside the centre of the ground. Just forward to centre. Oh, I reckon he stubbed his toe as he went to kick it. The old worm burner, and he's turned the footy over. The Magpies flick it around by hand, and it's on to Luke Saunders. The Magpies lead by 4 points in this second quarter.
Yeah, he kicked an absolute sack, did George Orland Smith. Now Gilmore with it for the Tigers. On to McMenamin. Oh, didn't he get brought down hard by Mick Newton? Play goes on. Norton on the boot. Has hit the behind post, and it has gone out of bounds. Jackson Clark it was, so we will have a boundary throw-in. Oh, gee, what a hit.
Couple of big tackles, Freaky, in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good stuff there by Michael Newton. Just kept the ball inside their forward half again, and going to give him another opportunity here. The intensity that the Maggies are playing on, they're just hitting the contest a little bit harder than Albury are at the moment.
Yeah, so this is interesting. The Maggies pressing here. Second turn, boundary throw-in. Newton up against Muller. Muller got a left hand to it. Ball rolling across the ground. Oh, gee, Wilson has just got back in the nick of time to take it across the line for the Tigers. So 29 plays 24 now on the CMB Truck and Bus scoreboard, and we've gone about 14 minutes in the second term.
Here's Riley Bice running through the middle of the Albury Sports Ground, taking a couple of bounces. Beautiful left foot kick, finds Heine Hennessy in space. Hillary's running for him, ignores them all, kicks to a dangerous position. Beautiful kick, finds Ben Kelly, 35 metres out directly in front. And once again, unbelievable movement by a slick Tigers outfit.
Yeah, really good movement. The beautiful kick from Ben Kelly as well, the big fella. And big fellas like that aren't renowned for their finesse with the football in hand. So, sorry, Colby Heine Hennessy, I should say, Ben Kelly having the shot. So really good ball movement. Probably the second or third time Albury have moved the ball from their defensive half into their forward half really, really well.
Kicked 4 goals only a couple of weeks ago, Freaky, against Myrtleford. You were here.
Sensational that day.
Only needs a couple of chances. Is a good kick for a big fella, Ben Kelly. He'll kick from 45 metres out. Distance is not an issue. Neither's the accuracy for Ben Kelly. He gets his first goal. The Tigers first of this second quarter. They just needed a steadier. They go to 4-6-30. The Pies 4-5-29. That's on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Boundary side, Kylie King. for the Newmarket Hotel as Hamish Gilmore has a rest.
Yes, and you're right when you talked about they just needed to be patient. I think Heine Hennessy there showed great composure because he knocked back several options, didn't he? He had so many Tigers running by him, but he just waited and chose Kelly to deliver that kick, and I think that was just brilliantly set up by the Tigers then.
Tigers by a point at the sports ground. Second term brought to you by Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. We're back in the middle. Let's have a look. Who'll win the clearance? Muller, Callamore in the ruck. Broke about even. Josh Gaynor goes in quickly. Beautifully rove. Porter brought him down. And the umpire is going to take it again. So let's have a look this time. Muller and Moore doing battle. Battle of strength. Ellis just overran the ball. Sharrock. Bice got rid of him and then hacked the ball off the ground. It's coming towards our broadcast position. Wait, Heine Hennessy ends up in the hands of Garlett, off to Hillary, and then a right foot on the boot going down forward. Luke Daly comes out and meets it so hard. He did well to grab it and then sends it in forward. Oh, great play from Luke Daly again. George Holland-Smith plays on, kicks the goal. That is the Tigers at their absolute best. 36 plays, 29 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Freaky, that was classy footy from the yellow and black.
Yeah, when they move the footy like that, it's really, really hard to stop. It's been sort of a feature of their play this year. We've seen it numerous times against Yarrawonga in round one, a few weeks ago when we were here against Myrtleford, and again today when they get that slick ball movement going, they're really easy on the eye to watch and hard to stop. George Holland-Smith on the 40-week stat sheet's up to 15 disposals now for this game. He's kicked the goal there as well.
Not a bad one-pointer to slot straight back into your lineup in season 2023. Of course, hasn't played football for 3 years, George Holland-Smith, living up in Sydney. Good mates with Snip Miles and said, I'll come and play for the Tigers. Knowles with a clearing kick, inside 50. Hillary just slotted seamlessly into this Albury Tigers seniors outfit. Coming from Yakandanda, takes an intercept mark. Comes really wide with a kick to Jeff Garlett. Sizzling kick up to half forward, not a great one. Intercepted by Norton for the Magpies. The right half back has a couple of short options, but wants to play aggressive. He comes out wide, just gets over the head of Elliot Powell. Wasn't able to find his teammate in Laverty. Powell tied up against the boundary, gets a 1-2 here with Hodgson. Torpedo punts it to half forward. Big Isaac Muller comes out and meets it, not able to take a mark. O'Brien, looks like he copped a bit of a head knock there. Goes back in and wins it. Gets a little touch on it. Spills out here to Powell. He was crunched straight away. The pressure's lifted in this one. Ball still on centre wing. Ellis, he was brought down hard as O'Brien kicks it up to half forward for the Tigers.
Bouncing ball inside 50. Daly, clever tap onto Muller. Has to get it back to Daly. And then try to get on the boot. Smothered by Cam Barrett. Fantastic to McVeigh, to Smiths, to the Maggies. They get out here, and it's a long ball out towards the clubhouse side. Clark picks it up, inside ball, miss Warner. Now he grabs it on the second attempt. Norton, he ducked around Hillary in those blue boots. Left foot, a deft kick to Clark. Came down in front, McVeigh whistle. Over the shoulder, Freaky, yes?
Yeah, Jackson Clark went up for the mark. Michael Duncan just got him a little bit higher. That one was definitely there.
Clark. Quick ball movement. Tell you what, boys, this game has gone up a notch now. Knowles, half forward flank. Oh, geez, gone here. Duncan's got him. Play on. Warner on the boot, sends it in. Good mark. Taken by Gilmore. Panda, this is fantastic to watch.
It is indeed. CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard in this second quarter. Albury by 7 points, 36-29. As we tick up towards the 19th minute mark on the Macca's time clock. Heine Hennessy at half-back, working hard, looks inboard. Kicks it to Elliot Powell, who's going to switch the footy. It hangs a long time in the air. Well done by Luke Saunders, able to get in front of Garlett. Garlett smartly goes back and wins it and shovels it back to Powell, who's just asserting himself in this football game. Comes out to half forward, wide to O'Hara. He slipped out the back, kicks it from 60, dribbling, kick inboard. A beautiful sizzler. And diving low is Luke Daly, who takes it 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
There's not many better players for the Albury Tigers. You want the footy in their hands when it's about 70 metres out from goal than Braden O'Hara. Normally finds a target and did then as well. Beautiful footwork in the conditions, greasy conditions, and an even better mark by Luke Daly down low in the greasy conditions again. Hopefully going back to put the Tigers in front by even more, up to 13-point lead if he can get this one.
They kicked the last two when the Magpies led by 2. So they've stepped it up a notch, have the Tigers. And Luke Daly lining up for his first goal. He'll kick from 45 metres. That is a beautiful finish The one finger salute from Luke Daly. They've kicked the last 3 here, the Albury Tigers. They now lead by 13 points. 6-6-42. The Magpies 4-5-29 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Kylie King on the boundary for the Newie.
Yeah, well, Jeffy Garlett, quite rightly so, is getting lots of high fives and taps from his teammates because it was really his work on the wing to hustle that ball, to grab it, to send it forward that's really set up that goal for the Tigers.
Elliot Powers got going in this second quarter as well. He's had 6 disposals on the 40-week stat sheet. I reckon he's had 5 of them in the last 5 minutes. He's been getting around the ground very well.
Yeah, this game.
Got to turn yourself on there, Lukey.
Yeah, this game's broken open, Panda.
Still resting the voice from the Wagga Cup. Too many champers.
Gee, it was a big day. And it was a beauty. Here we go. Clark out of the middle for the Maggies. And they drive it forward. Newton winding up at the back. Big fist coming. And then coming around Laverty. Left foot. Gee, that was close. It's gone through for one behind. So 42 plays 30 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. McDonald's time clock has gone about 21 opening term. They come out to Garlett, the Tigers. And they'll be looking to move it quickly. They go on to O'Brien.
Yeah, he pumps it long. Genuine one-on-one here between Daly and Barrett. Spills out the back, running onto this one, young Phoenix Gothard. He's a smooth mover, wheels around, deft little kick in board. Beautiful kick to Hall and Smith. That's why he's playing in the Murray Bushrangers, young Phoenix Gothard. And Hall and Smith will line up for 2 goals in this second quarter, Freaky.
Yeah, when Jeffy Garlett got that ball on the half-back line and went long, Hall and Smith was running in the middle of the ground with no Magpies opponent within 20 metres of him. Just followed the play beautifully, and Phoenix Gothard was able to find him there in the middle of the ground. So when you haven't got anyone around 15 metres, just find the right target, which they just did then. And hopefully, George, as you say, Panda, looking for his 16th disposal and his second goal in this game.
Not a bad half of football from the former Gold Coast and Geelong man. He'll kick from 30 metres out, slide angle, and he makes no mistake. George has got 2. The Tigers got 7. They now lead by 3 goals. 48 plays 30. A nice buffer here for the Albury Tigers at the sports ground. That's on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. We have played 22 minutes of the Macca's time block, Freaky.
No man crush on George Hall and Smith because he was an ex-Geelong player, Lukey?
Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
He was in and out, wasn't he?
He was a cat, but he's not in Stevie J's category.
Not too many are, Lukey.
No, that's true. No, I tell you what, he was a darn good player, though. George Hall and Smith always seemed to have time, and you can still see that, Freaky, can't you?
Well,
he was a very good cricketer, George Hall and Smith.
I did hear that. You can see that himself, obviously not playing footy for 3 years. Just the way that he can move around the footy field, put himself in the right positions. He's been outstanding today. Yeah,
it is amazing, particularly at this level in the O&M. Muller, Knowles, Clark, met heavily by Muller. And then Knowles, look at that for a torp going forward. Duncan, or Callum Moore somehow grabbed it, puts it on the right boot. Look at that, up in the air. Newton, Conlon, Lucas just gets it on the boot and sends it out of trouble for the Tigers. Bouncing ball, it's going to be coming back in. And a short one, misses weight over the top. Hillary, gee, that's a good mark. He's reeled it in. So the Tigers hold up again, and they lead 48-30 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. They're going about 23 in the second term.
Hillary's kick wasn't great. Intercepted here by Warner. Deft kick into the pocket. And it's landed in the arms here of Laverty. Now, he's a left footer. He's tied up against the boundary, right in front of the old scoreboard here at the Tigers, so it's favouring the Noriel Park end. Will he run around and snap this one, Freaky?
He's looking that way. I like this kid's game today.
Yep.
Been really good in that forward half for the Magpies.
So he runs around Laverty and he makes no mistake, if you don't mind. A Sunjan goal today, a calm finish. And the Magpies through Laverty break a run of 4 Albury Tigers goals. It's back to a 12-point margin. The Pies 36, the Tigers 48 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Cool as you like, Kylie King for the Newmarket.
Oh, and isn't it great? We've really got a bit of spunk in this game. And, as you mentioned, it's broken that Albury 4-goal break. So, we've definitely got a game on here, lads.
As you touched on in the pre-game, Panda, a lot of the young fellas from either team are really impressing me today. Young Laverty there. Phoenix Gothard set up the last goal. Now, even Tyler Norton, who's been around a little bit longer in the back half for Wangaratta today, I think has been really good. So a lot of the younger players are rising to the occasion today.
The core team of Kylie King, Brad Freak, Blake Escott and Luke Francis, brought to you by McRae Motors. Newton went up early. Free kick.
Advantage.
Play on. Melville going in. This will be a Maggie's goal. It's a goal, all right. All clear given. And that's 2 for Melville. So 48 plays 42 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Happens so quickly, Freaky. Within a blink of an eye, the Maggies are really on the Tigers' tail now.
Yeah, how important are these late couple of goals for the Wangaratta Magpies in this second term? Obviously, with just 18 points down a minute ago, now it's only a 6-point ball game to get these couple of late goals and get themselves right back into this game. Just as we're not far off half-time, Panda, it's a very, very important passage of play. If they can sneak another one here, that's going to be right on.
Boys, we've had 6 goals in 9 minutes.
How good's Melville?
Wow, this game is just broken open. The Tigers 48 and Wangaratta 42 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. 25 minutes played now on the Macca's time clock. No wonder these sides have been so successful in the Ovens and Murray over the past couple of years. Wilson kicks it to half forward. Just left Daly and Barrett behind. Barrett was able to win it back. Hand passes to Ellis, who's got busy in this second quarter. A man who's been busy every week, Sharrick, kicks it down the line. Not a great kick. Intercepted at half forward, or half back, I should say, by Jesse Wilson in Albury Tigers colours. Plays on to Page, or puts his teammate Duncan under a bit of pressure with a hand pass. He's got enough time, though, to switch the footy on the far side of the ground. It's now in the hands of Gilmore. And a 6-point lead to Albury, 48-42. Time on in this second quarter. We're doing it for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers.
So Gilmore, the former Panther, now a jungle cat of a different sort in a Tiger. And then on the boot from the Maggies. Oh, Melville.
Wow.
What a mark over Gaynor.
Jeez, he's been good.
He's playing some sort of game, this guy, Freaky.
Yeah, he's coming up to his 16th disposal of the game as well himself.
Yeah, an elite body and paint mark of the day, no doubt about that. Inside 50, though, Garlett. And then sends it back out for the Tigers. Big long kick. O'Sullivan picks it up. Bordagnon's got him tied up. And the umpire is going to take it. We might go around the grounds very shortly, Freaky. Firstly, we'll go down to Kylie King for the Newmarket.
Well, Jeffy Garlett literally just came off the interchange, and automatically has an impact on the game.
Bice in a one-on-one contest there with Saunders at ground level. Bice flicks it onto Alex Jones. He's got a bit of time and space, pumps it really long, one-on-one down there between O'Hara and Norton. Good contest. Norton wins out, applies pressure, and then a good tackle on Gaynor and wins the boundary throw-in. Inside attacking 50 here for Albury. This game has certainly lifted in this second quarter. As I said before, we've had 6 goals in the last 10 minutes. We'll go around the grounds very soon after this boundary throw-in. It's the Tigers by 6 points, 48 plays 42.
Ball back into play. Close to the netball court's bouncing ball, and it's gone out of bounds again. We'll go to you, Freaky. We'll go around the grounds.
Yeah, Yarrawonga have an 8-point lead over Lavington, 37-29. Wodonga Bulldogs being too good for Myrtleford, 56-19, and the Wodonga Raiders up by 16 points against North Albury, 17-33.
Smollett Street end back pocket. As the ball comes back in, Marla just got rid of Knowles on the boot, has a snap of the sticks, has gone through for 1 minus score. So 49 plays 42. We've got a game on our hands here, the Albury Sports Ground. So that's on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone about 28 minutes as we work up towards the long break. Here's Blake Escott from McRae Motors.
So Cam Barrett with another 40 winks. Spills here to Jay Hillary. Been one of the Tigers' best. Jay Hillary loads up from 50, sends it to the goal square, and Connor O'Sullivan has taken a mark right next to the goal post. He's going to have to kick this one from very tight up against the boundary. You'd expect he'll run around, he'll screw this over his shoulder. He does just that, and it's across the face. I'm not sure he's even scored there, has he, Connor O'Sullivan?
Yeah, it's across everything.
Wow, disappointing finish, out of bounds on the full. It's a great mark, though. I reckon Jay Hillary's been very important for the Albury Tigers. So no score, Albury 49, the Magpies 42. As we tick up towards half-time on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard, 29 gone.
So Van Burlo came with a long kick out of the back pocket. O'Brien's coming back, though, for the Tigers. Low ball in to Heine Hennessy. So he's taken the mark. Man on the mark's probably about 35, 37 out, Panther.
Yep, you'd say that. Good lowering of the eyes there by O'Brien, wasn't it, Freaky? He could have blazed away, but he just spotted up on Hennessy.
Yeah, been really good at that today, the Albury Tigers. They've had 6 marks inside forward 50 in this second term from their 14 inside 50. So they're looking for that open man and just finding them very nicely in this second quarter.
What do you think of the blonde locks, Lukey?
Yeah.
I like it.
I had them once upon a time, long time ago. Cole behind Hennessy has kicked a goal, so that's the Tigers' 8th. They go to 55. The Maggies 42 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has almost reached probably around about 30 minutes in the second term. Very close to the long break as we go back downstairs to Kylie King for the Newmarket.
Oh, look, you can just see the energy lift with the Tigers with Heine Hennessy for that one. Again, he's been playing so well. I've really loved his composure and obviously backed himself there. He didn't look for any other options. He just wheeled himself, turned around and lined her up and delivered truly. So well done to him.
So Colby Heine Hennessy gets his first for the day. He hit the post earlier. And I'm just imagining Luke Francis in those blonde locks that he spoke about from back in the day.
I'll get you a signed photo, Pen.
We will get that up on the 2AY Radio Facebook page, I think, as Mark Anderson marks it half forward from the quick clearing kick here from the Pies. Time running out in this second quarter. He loads up from 55. Anderson kicks it to Newton, tussling there in the last line of defence with Lucas Conlon as the siren sounds here at the sports ground to end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 9-goal second quarter. The game definitely broken open, all thanks to Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. Great footy. A 13-point lead here to the Tigers. 55 plays 42 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. The halftime show, thanks to Elders Rural on the other side of this. And remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
On 2AY.
Half time here at the Albury Sports Ground. Round 5 SSNA Ovens and Murray action on 2AY's O&M Live. It is the Tigers up against the Wangaratta Magpies. A great game of football. And it's the Tigers by 13 points at the main break. 8-7-55 to the Wangaratta Magpies, 5-6-42. A fast, open, free-flowing second quarter as Luke Francis reaches in for another sandwich, another 40 winks disposal. And I have to say, Brad Freak, we should never have questioned the Albury Tigers staff here because we look like fools now. We never really question them, but what we're saying is we have been given some silver service, 2 beautiful trays full of sandwiches. We got cakes, we got biscuits with cream. We have absolutely everything, some beautiful, delicate sandwiches as well, and they have done an outstanding job. So to everybody here at the Albury Football Club, Netball Club, well done. Thank you to the canteen staff.
You know what the only problem is, Panda? We haven't got enough time during halftime to actually enjoy it all. There's so much food, but it is simply outstanding.
There are 30 sandwiches in here. How are we going to eat them all?
You got a doggy bag?
I think I'm going to have to. I got the old doggy bag. Yeah. You always feel bad when you go to a pub and you put something in your napkin or, you ask for a...
You paid for it, mate.
I know, but still, you just feel a bit bad. You should eat it all in one sitting.
Nah. You don't have to, mate.
All right, well, you can go and ask the guys here. You can go and ask Westy for a doggy bag. What do you reckon?
I might have... Actually, I think I've got a bag in me actual bag I brought with me, so we'll see how we go.
You can chuck it. You can chuck a couple of singers in there as Luke Francis now joins us after a delightful cucumber sandwich as I get a bit of reflux. Good game of football, Lukey Francis.
It is, Panda, and these sandwiches aren't... they're too good to be put in a doggy bag. They have to be put in a briefcase. That's how good they are.
They are sensational. Brad Freak, let's talk a bit of sense because we got a great game of football. Yeah. Optus caught us best pleased in that second quarter.
Yeah, in that second term there was a number of people that you could put it across in that second term there. Yeah, for the Albury Tigers, I mean, that man again, George Hall-and-Smith and Elliot Power, they're the two. They've been simply outstanding in the middle of the ground for them. They've been really, really strong throughout the whole day. George Hall-and-Smith had 6 disposals in that quarter, but kicking 2 goals. Elliot Power had 6 disposals as well, but racked up about 4 or 5 of them in the space of about a minute and really, really helped Albury in the middle of the ground. For the Wangaratta side of things, it's Brad Melville again. The two boys, the big inclusions this week, and George Hall-and-Smith and Brad Melville for Wangaratta are really delivering for their sides today. Both of them had 16 disposals to half-time. Hall-and-Smith's kicked 2 goals and Melville's kicked 2 goals as well. So they've been simply outstanding, the two boys. Probably nearly the 2 best players on the ground. And for mine, it's a lot of the younger players, as you put on the radar earlier today, Panda, that I think have really, really been good. I think Lafferty in the front half for Wangaratta has been... It's the first time I've seen him play, and he's been really, really strong. Connor O'Sullivan at the other end has really provided a really good presence at different times down there as well. But it's a ripping game of footy. We thought coming in with the greasy conditions that it would slow down some of the pace, but some of the footy by Albury and the Maggies at times has been outstanding, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, you're right about that, Freaky. It certainly hasn't slowed it down at all. I went to another level about halfway through that quarter. It broke completely clear, and they were on display. It was great O&M footy, free-flowing from one end to the other. And at the moment, 55. The Tigers lead the Maggies 43, Panda.
Well, Brad Melville kicked his opening goal at the 11th minute mark, and then only a couple of minutes later we had Kelly, Hall-and-Smith, straight after that, Luke Daly, then Hall-and-Smith again. Tigers kicked 4 on the bounce, and then the Magpies brought it back to a goal with 2 goals in a minute, and then Heiner Hennessy just on half-time. So it really broke open, you're right, at about that 10th minute mark, and we saw some really fast, free-flowing football, and much like last week down at the McNamara Reserve, not much defending going on, which is great for us commentators and viewers at home.
Well, if you can get your hands on the footy in the middle of the ground here and get first use of it and get it into your forward 50 quickly, you can hit the scoreboard quickly as well, because it is a shorter ground going backwards and from the middle of the ground into 50. One decent kick, you can get into 30 metres out easily here in the centre ground. So both ruckmen for either team, I think obviously Muller, and he's going up against Knowles and Moore, I think has broken relatively even in the first half. I think at different times either side has been on top. Lukey, I don't know how you've seen, but I just feel like the ruck at the moment has been fairly even. But if you can get your first hands on the footy, it's really, really score in today's game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that, Freaky. And just so many options for the Maggies in the ruck, isn't there? I mean, and the what have we got? I want to know what the weather's looking like here, Panda, because it's getting very dark, or it seems to be getting darker here at the Albury Sports Ground. But
it wouldn't surprise me if they put the lights on, actually, because it is quite dark here. It would be dark everywhere across the region. But looking at the radar...
Yeah.
55 to 42. Can you just go give us some of those team stats in that opening half, Freaky? Why did the Tigers lead by 13 points?
Yeah, again, they're pretty relatively even. If you look at the actual team stats, it's been 6 centre clearances for Wangaratta, 4 to Albury. Inside 50s, can't really split them. 26 to Albury, 25 to Wangaratta. And marks inside 50, Albury's probably got their noses in front of that just a little bit more. Wangaratta's only had the 5 marks inside forward 50. I think that Jake on the game so far. I think that Lucas Conlon, when the ball comes in, seems to be getting the front position a lot of time, and you want your forward obviously in that front position and be able to have a better chance to get it. So I think just little subtle things like that, the Wangaratta, and Juice is obviously very experienced, he'll be able to work that out during in front, might be able to bring some free kicks, which we saw a bit of a run on in that early in that second quarter there. So you give yourself the best chance in some greasy conditions as well.
We'll go around the grounds as well, Brad Freak, in the other games in the SSNA Ovens Murray, the bumper round 5, because all games are close, and it seems that way apart from one game over at Martin Park.
Yeah, it does at the moment. Yarrawonga looked to have an 8-point lead over Lavington there at half-time, 37 to 29. Wodonga are up to a good lead over Myrtleford, 56 to 19. I've been given an update that you could guess who's on being red hot in that game as well.
Angus Baker?
And one of the few, been apparently one of the better players there today. Wodonga Raiders hold a 16-point lead over North Albury, 33 to 17 in that other game.
2-5 North Albury. I think one stage they were maybe 5 behind.
They were, yeah. So again, as we sort of touched on with Lavington earlier in the day, you don't want to ruin your missed chances in a real pivotal clash for both of those sides at Button Park today.
A-grade netball results at the moment, all thanks to Ray White Rural, wonderful supporters of A-grade netball, and a big shout out to the guys down at Ray White Rural. Wangaratta 47 over Albury 24. Yarrawonga 58 over Lavington 54 in the A-grade netball. That was our broadcast game, Lukey Francis and Brad Freak, which was called beautifully by Tam Matthews and by Ree Harris, who's doing wonderful things on the boundary. I had enough time because our game went a bit longer in the first half than the Yarrawonga Lavy game. Went back on the YouTube and had a little listen to Ree, and she is sounding
first
fantastic.
Class.
Yep, first class. In the other A-grade netball game, the Raiders with a 3-goal win over North Albury, 48 to 45, and Myrtleford 65, a big strong win over Wodonga, 27.
And if we have a look at the games currently taking place in the AFL, Richmond have a 9-point lead over West Coast down at the MCG, 38 to 29 down there. The G might be some wet conditions down there, you would imagine, maybe with it is here, but down at the Cattery, as Luke Francis might be really happy to listen to, the Cats 56 lead, the Crows 40 there at the moment, so a 16-point lead to the Crows down in Geelong in that one.
That's a pretty good effort there by the Crows.
Hey, hang on, Pen.
That's a pretty good effort.
Takes a good
it is. That's a big effort down there in Catland.
Takes a good team to beat the Crows.
I don't know if that'll stay that way, but it is. They've got some great young talent, haven't they? Went so close against the Pies. Freaky, gee, you must have had your heart in your mouth Sunday night.
It wasn't in my mouth. It was on the floor. It was under the couch, wherever you want to find it. It came out there, but I don't know how they did it last Sunday.
You don't know how they do it.
Yeah. I wrote them off last weekend. It was the first time I didn't think they'd do it, but here we are.
You don't know how they do it every week, but they continue to do a marvellous job, the Collingwood Football Club, and they'll no doubt probably come from behind against Sydney tomorrow. Don's a sneaky chance against Port Adelaide. Just you watch that one.
I don't think they are a sneaky chance. I give them a big chance.
You reckon?
And I think your Bombers might beat the Power tomorrow in Adelaide.
Let's hope so.
Just quietly, Lukey, Panda did say the same thing before Anzac Day as well.
Yeah, okay. I think they match up very good against Port Adelaide, and I think they might win.
You're a wise football head, my friend, and if you think that they match up good, then I'm telling you we're a chance.
I'm glad you said football then.
I'm glad I did as well. Half time here at the Sports Ground for Elders Rural Elders Insurance. It is a 13-point lead to the Albury Tigers. 8-7-55 over Wangaratta, 5-6-42. Half time done and dusted. The teams are about to run back onto the ground. Well, we hope so. Otherwise, Lukey will be going for a swim in the Albury pool. On the other side of this, the third quarter for Indigo Power here on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Where are those talks?
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
O&M Live. on 2AY.
Yeah, welcome back to O&M Live as Blake Escott just tries to jam in one last sandwich.
Oh.
Very interesting, Freak. He's been caught unaware. The great man.
I'm just trying to finish this little chocolate brownie as well, boys. So you carry on for the first minute, Lukey.
That was simply outstanding.
Unbelievable.
Incredible, exquisite. The food here at the Albury Sports Ground. Third term brought to you by Indigo Power. Away we go. Power out of the middle. Try to dish to Bice, and Bice breaks away and sends it forward for the Tigers. Coming out as Sullivan. Couldn't quite claim the mark. Gainer at ground level. Brought down by a couple of Maggies. Players tearing in. That's Smith trying hard. Look at the numbers around this pill. And it's been a free kick plucked out. And it's going to go the way of McVeigh. He comes his side to Barrett, who takes the mark. He's got a free man in weight, and he's got it on the half-back flank as he goes forward now, looking for Clark. The Maggies have it, and he plays on. Does Clark. Goes with a low ball. Wilson got a fist in, and then dishing it out was Laverty towards the boundary line, and the ball has gone out of bounds as we go to Freaky for the first time in the third team on the 40-work stat sheet.
Yeah, really good play there by the Magpies along the wing with Clark and Waite just to work it out. Laverty just in the wet, the squeezy conditions just wasn't able to grasp onto the ball there, but in their forward half to start this second term, the Magpies.
Kylie, we'll get you to watch Matt Grossman, who's warming up in front of us. Got a lot of tape on his calf and starting the third quarter in the bench. So we'll just watch that one throughout the game as the Tigers go to half forward. Jones hand passes it to Gothard. Like this kid, he retreats back to Jones, who calmly waits for numbers and kicks out wide to O'Hara. His kick goes to Gothard, who kept on running. He's at half forward, far side of the Albury Sports Ground. Pops it into a bit of space, looking for Gainer, working really hard. I reckon he's juggled it. Is it over the boundary line, though? I think it is. So he took the mark. Second attempt over the boundary line. It will be a throw in. Deep inside attack here for the Albury Tigers. Great transition footy. Early stages of this third quarter. We're doing it for Indigo Power. No score. That is on the Inspiration Paint scoreboard. Still the Tigers by 12.
As we mentioned during the long break, it's getting quite dark here at the Albury Sports Ground, so might see the lights on. Sharrock on the boot for the Maggies. A clearing kick. Wilson with a fist to it. Ball rolling towards the boundary line and has found it. True centre wing on the clubhouse side. Freaky, give us our inside 50s up until this point on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, at half-time it was 26-25 in favour of Albury. Albury have gone inside 50 twice to start this third term, so it's 28-25 early in the third term.
There he is, Brad Freak. Powell to Muller. Now, what can he do? Isaac from this contest, and then down the line with the right foot in front of O'Sullivan. McVeigh on to Barrett for the Maggies, and they spit it out. White to Dan Saunders. Melville had a great first half. Has he taken that in the field of play? What's the umpire going to say here?
I only saw the end of that, Lukey, but he looked like he was in the car park marking that one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So the umpire's conferring here. There's a conference going on.
They got this. Maybe we can take a few sandwiches over there for them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You need that at the conferences.
That might slow it down a bit, mate.
It's a face-to-face meeting.
I'm not willing to share any of these sandwiches, just quietly.
Yeah, we sort of figured that out, Panda. There's going to be a ball up on the outer side.
Third quarter action for Indigo Power. The Tigers by 12. Muller stepping it up a gear. Oh, big crunching tackle from Heiner Hennessy on Saunders, was it? Not sure what the free kick was for. Was it for high?
Too high. I didn't really see it high, but must have grabbed him just a little bit high.
All right, so the Magpies sweep it wide, right in front of the grandstand here. Wodonga play side of the sports ground. In the long sleeves, Fraser Ellis. Very dark out there at the moment. Wouldn't surprise me if they turn the lights on. Heiner Hennessy.
Lights are starting to come on now, yeah.
Well, I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket tonight as well, I think. A free kick here to the Wangaratta Magpies. Sharrock goes inboard, onto Clark. Got to get rid of it pretty quickly, McVeigh. He knew he was under pressure. Smith sweeps it wide to Barrett. He spots up a target to half forward. Beautiful kick into the space. And Cal Moore ran onto it. And he's going to line up from every bit of 52 or 3 metres, but he's got the distance, Freaky.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful kick there by Cam Barrett. He's started this third term really well. He's had 3 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. Takes him up to 14 for the game. He's really just fitted in seamlessly into this Magpies outfit across that half-back line. Been able to use his distribution by foot's been first class, and it was right an example just there to Cal Moore.
So Cal Moore, kick 1 in the opening term. Been a bit quiet since. You'll line up from 53 metres. That is a gun barrel straight drop punt in the opening goal of this third quarter from 55 metres, if you don't mind, from Cal Moore. Imagine having a right foot with that much power. The Magpies 49, the Tigers 55. It's back to a 1-goal margin on the Inspiration Paint scoreboard.
One inside 50 for 1 goal for the Magpies in this third term. Just beautiful work there by Cam Barrett to be able to find Cal Moore. The Tigers had their opportunities early in this term, had 3 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet, but just weren't able to hit the scoreboard at all early in this term, get it back to a 7-point margin. So really tight contest in our hands here. We'll see if we can get whoever can get the ball out of the centre of the ground has generally had a really quick shot at goal today, so we'll see if that trend continues.
So working up to the 4.5-minute mark on the Macca's time clock. Third term, and that was a gun barrel straight kick from Cal Moore. Beautiful strike of a Sharon. Knowles, Clark out of the middle. Here they come again. The Magpies, a forward entry. O'Sullivan. And then Hodgson. And then the ball's gone across the line from Duncan. And that was Laverty, I should have said, for the Magpies. Freaky.
Looks like Matt Grossman is playing down in a forward role now. So as Kylie said there, so it just looks like instead of being in that back line, he's pushed forward for the Magpies.
Moore. And he just got rid of Muller. He slipped at a vital stage, bursting onto it. Clark. He's got it. The Maggies get another. Gee, we've got a game on our hands now. It's all locked up. 55 apiece, and that's 2 for Jackson. That double, and we've gone about 5.5 in the third term as we go back down to Kylie King for the Newmarket.
Yeah, there's a good pick up with the cuff being strapped on Matt Grossman. So he actually sprinted out to the forward line. So he's still got that movement in that cuff. But as you say, it's heavily strapped. And, geez, his presence, it didn't matter. They were just on fire, weren't they then?
Jackson Clark, he's had 4 disposals already in this third term. I had him down for none in the first quarter, and he's had 11 since then.
Wow.
So he's been really, really influential since quarter time.
I'll be going back and watching to see whether he had any disposals in that opening quarter as well, Freaky. You don't miss much at all. In fact, I shouldn't even question you. You are the number 1 stats man on the board up as the Tigers pick it up, go to half forward. Gainer's kick is very, very wide. Hewitt is going to be first there. Flicks it back to Saunders. They're set up well defensively. The Magpies, Smith off a step, just clears it as long as he can down the far wing. O'Hara intercepts for the Tigers. Good hand pass to Jones in space. And his kick finds Luke Daly in a pocket of space, 35 metres out directly in front. A good kick there from Jones. He could have blazed away.
It's really been a really good aspect of Albury's game this year in the games I have seen. It's just lowering their eyes and finding the right targets. They don't seem to blaze away. They just keep looking for the right targets. Luke Daly's one who always pops up in a little bit of space, and a beautiful kick there by Alex Jones to find Luke Daly, who's about 40 metres out on a slight angle, Lukey.
So Daly will line up for goal number 2. He's usually a very good kicker of the football. He's the co-captain in 2023. For the instant reply, he loves it. And the Tigers get their opening goal in this third quarter. A Sunjan goal that a contender. And the shootout continues here at the sports ground. The Tigers 61, the Magpies 55. That's on the Inspiration Paint scoreboard as we tick up towards the 8-minute mark on the Macca's time clock, Freaky.
Yeah, been a really good start to this third quarter. It just picked up where it left off in that last term. It's really good game of footy to watch. Obviously, we touched on at half-time. You came today with a bit gloomy with the weather around. You thought you might saw a little bit of a dour affair, but there's been nothing like that at all. It's been simply outstanding, the game today.
Really quickly around the grounds, guys. Wodonga in front of Myrtleford. Yarrawonga 15 points clear of Lavey. North Albury kicked the first 4 goals of the third quarter. They lead by 9 over the Raiders.
The lights are on here at the sports ground. If you've just joined us on 1494 2AY, it's getting very dark, so they've flicked the switch. O'Hara in pursuit of the ball on the outer side. Wilson just ahead of him, and the ball has gone out of bounds. As we said, the Albury Tigers 3-0 in season 2023. The Wang Maggies with a 1-3 record this year. And the Tigers on the outer side now. The umpire took a while to retrieve that ball. Coming in now. Here we go. Here comes the throw-in. Muller, Knowles, down in front of O'Brien. Lost the handle on it. And then picked up by Smith. He's quickly pounced upon by Garlett. So now he's at the bottom. Umpire's going to call for it. And he's going to ball it up. So Blake Escott, here we are, the core team of Kylie King, Brad Freak, Blake Escott and Luke Francis for McRae Motors.
Isaac Muller just hit it to space beautifully. What a great hand pass forward there by the Tigers. Melville, had to kick it down the line. Knowles with an outstretched arm. Not able to mark. Sharrock's been wrapped up by Hodgson. The Tigers fans on that balcony, they want a free kick for holding the ball. Umpire not buying it. And it's still camped out on that far wing of the Albury Sports Ground. 3 goals in 9 minutes. 1 to the Tigers, 2 to the Pies. Margin sits at 6, Albury lead. A free kick here. In the bright orange boots, it's Jake Gaynor. Right on centre wing. Kicks to half forward. O'Sullivan. And nudging him underneath it there smartly was Dylan Van Berlo. Normally wears number 15, wearing 43 today in the Indigenous Wangaratta Clash jersey. And Van Berlo kicks it long, finds the wing.
And then the ball's gone out of bounds, with Melville seeing it out in the outer side. So the umpire's going to throw it in again. We'll go back down to you, Kylie, again for the Newmarket. A few changes downstairs.
Oh, yes. 2 changes apiece, both for the Magpies and the Tigers. So, yeah, keeping those rotations up while it's on that far wing.
Muller from the boundary throwing, got one arm to it. There's a whistle being given. They're going to be playing on, so the Tigers have got it. McMenamin, and they want to move it quick. So George Holland-Smith is out on his own. As we said, the former Geelong Cat and Gold Coast Sun moves it forward inside 50. O'Hara went up early. Thought the free kick could have been given to McVeigh. Heine Hennessy. Norton on his tail gets the ball inside to Page. Left foot swinging. It's not going to come around enough. And then Smith comes through for the Maggies and knocks it across the line. So 62 plays 55 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Third term brought to you by Indigo Power. We've gone about 10.5 on the Macca's time clock. As we go to you, Panda.
So Barrett's kick, not great. Asked a lot of Knowles. Gothard with time and pace kicks in the direction of Heine Hennessy. Barrett made up for it. Goes back to McVeigh, who just sees it over the boundary line in front of the old scoreboard here, which reads 62 to 55. I don't think they've put that extra number on, but the electronic scoreboard has. 9-8-62 Albury. The Magpies 8-7-55. 3 goals in this third quarter. 1 to Luke Daly, 1 to Moore and Jackson Clark for the Wangaratta Magpies. Toss back into play. Kelly flicks it on to Muller, doing the roving. His kick has been intercepted by Van Berlo on the last line of defence in his own goal square. Kicks it short to Murray Waite. Right back pocket. Beautiful kick down the line. Porter's in space. He's got a few options forward if he moves quickly. Sits a high one to half forward. Laverty up against Hamish Gilmore, and Hamish Gilmore worries him out of it. And we've got a boundary throw in just forward to centre for the Wangaratta Magpies in this third quarter. We're doing it for Indigo Power, and on the Macca's time clock, we have gone 12 minutes, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, round 5, O&M action. Blake Escott, left to centre wing, clubhouse side from our broadcast spot. Muller, left hand down. And then Holland-Smith brought to ground in a strong tackle.
His numbers, Freaky?
Up to 19 today, George Holland-Smith. He's been outstanding, kicked the 2 goals as well.
Yep. 7-point lead of the Tigers. If you just tuned in, Powell off the stoppage. Just tried to handball down in front. Smart play because Melville had him. The free kick was called for holding. Tigers wanted to take the advantage. Now it's been called back, Freaky.
Yeah, I think they were, as you rightfully called there, Lukey, they wanted the advantage. And in some situations, you've seen that definitely be paid.
Melville's goal was an advantage today, wasn't it?
You've seen plenty of times where that is just paid. Now, bit of a luck of the fortune there for the Maggies. Now get a chance to flood back and get their defence set from this power kick.
I will say I do feel for the umpires sometimes in that situation. It's almost
You're not right in that. You're never right, correct in that.
That's
situation, are you?
Well, the thing is, Panda, they're so used to putting the whistle to their mouth in that situation, and then all of a sudden you've got to stop. Now Garlett, right foot around the body, bouncing ball. Kelly shepherded it. Gaynor's after it. Jake just taps it along the ground in front of him. Anderson's after him. It's not Jake at all. It's Gothard, and then Gothard goes inside to Kelly. Kelly handballs on. Holland-Smith brought down in a strong tackle by Porter.
Yep.
Now the bench is calling for a dump.
Yeah, the umpire in the middle of the field, Ash Broughton, saw the dump, and that's what he's paid here. I think that one was definitely
Did
there.
the bench talk him into it?
No, he was gone before the bench even went. So
okay.
The bench was up and about, I'll give you the tip.
Both benches are looking at each other because the Albury bench agrees and the Wangaratta bench thinks it's hogwash.
Hogwash.
That's the truth.
Yeah, it's been an interesting topic here today, the dump
We've seen 4. We've seen 4 given here today, and I reckon all have been speculative.
George Holland-Smith is shooting for 2. This will give him his second. The Hume Street end. That's in fact his third. George Smith. The Tigers get out to 68. The Maggies 55 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Macca's time clock's gone about 14 minutes in the third term. Freaky, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's having a really big impact on this game. He's probably the front runner for the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day at the moment, George Smith, up to the 20 disposals in this game and 3 goals. He's been outstanding for the Albury Tigers today. They've just had a little bit more of the footy and control in this third term. They've had 7 inside 50s to 3, and they've just been able to get their noses a little bit further in front. But we've seen as the day's all gone on, Magpies have always come back at them, so expect the Maggies to be fighting back at some stage.
The message is pretty clear. Be very, very careful with your tackling in this game. As O'Sullivan picks it up out of the middle, kicks the Tigers back into attack. Van Berlo just juggled it off his pill and clears it and hacks it out of defence as far as he can. Garlett's first there for the Tigers. Oh, cleverly just taps it over his head. Sells a bit of candy. That would have been some finish if he kicked that goal. Jeffrey, I think he wanted it in the end. Didn't make the distance, and the Magpies have a chance to exit defence. Here's Murray Waite in the long sleeves at half back. He's found McVeigh in a fair bit of space on the far wing. He's a left footer. So the Tigers by 13, 68 to 55. McVeigh just pops it over the top to a teammate. They go inside forward 50, the Magpies, and Moore marks. Callum Moore marks 35 metres out on a slight angle. Great Wangaratta movement. Fight right down the far wing, Freaky.
Yeah, just really nice and composure. Just waited for McVeigh to get in a bit of space on that far wing there, hit him up, and then over the top there to Tyler Norton, who I think's playing a really good game for the Magpies today. Probably one of the better games I've seen him play for the Maggies today, and just really, really good mark there by Cal Moore inside that forward 50. Second mark inside forward 50 in this term. We saw him kick the long bomb from pretty much the same spot, but on the other side of the 50. Let's see if he can do the double in this third term.
So Calmore's got 2. He'll kick from 40 metres out in the slight angle. Never gave it a chance. Through from minor score. The Magpies 8-8-56. Albury 10-8-68. It's back to a 2-goal margin. 15 minutes played in this third quarter. That's on the Macca's time clock, and we're doing this one for Indigo Power, Lukey.
Stay with us on O&M Live. Got a cracking remaining third term. As we head into the final one, this is going to be a wonderful finish. 68 plays 56. Conlon short to O'Brien, comes off, so they hold possession. About 25 out from goal at the Smollett Street end. He wants to come very wide to Elliot Powell.
I'll get out of your way, Lukey, sorry.
You're right, Panda. Melville man's the mark. And Powell, he wants to go inboard. It's a high dump kick now to centre wing. Mala, strong in the midst. And what can they do? He plays on to Garlett. Garlett, awful kick. Trying to come this way to Gothard, then gets it up to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan going to Heiner Hennessy. Great. Takes it on the second bite. Now, what's he got on? He just paused for a moment, then he buggered it up. Wait to McVeigh, so the Maggies come out and they get it to Knowles.
So Knowles takes the mark in front of Powell, right in front of Kylie King. Boundary side for the Newmarket, on to Barrett. Tyler Norton provides the running option. Has to stop prop and hand pass it to Sharrock. He was under pressure. Melville, he was grabbed without it. Umpire said play on. Hillary picks it up for the Tigers. Kicks a long one in the air. O'Hara just nudges Barrett underneath the football. Intercepting here was Saunders. Hand passes to space. Porter's kick wasn't great. Might turn the football over in the middle of the ground. Well, I think Hall and Smith just dropped the footy there. The Magpies, the Tigers I should say, kick to centre wing. Ordinary bounce. Moore intercepts for the Magpies. Hand passes to Jackson Clark. He takes a bounce. Runs to 45. Jackson Clark and misses. Through for a minor score. The Magpies 8-9-57. The Tigers 10-8-68. That's on the Inspiration Paint scoreboard. Third quarter action. We're doing this one for Indigo Power.
Fellas, just while you're there, just a few drops of rain. Don't know if there'll be much in it though.
Thanks, Kylie. Kylie, boundary side for the Newmarket. Page, left foot, high one up in the air. Gilmore front spot in front of Grossman. Duncan picks it up for the Tigers. Took on Norton. Then a right foot high ball, bouncing now. Tapped down by Warner. And then players go in. Bourdignon over the top on George Smith. And the umpire is going to call for it. Freaky, how are our inside 50s looking in the third term, Freaky?
Yeah,
40 winks.
It's 5 for Wangaratta to 9 to the Albury. So Albury's had more of the opportunities going forward, and they've been able to take a little bit of advantage of it, but they haven't really extended that lead too much further than what it was at half-time.
Powell tried to get the handball off to O'Sullivan. Laverty got a hand to it though, and the ball has gone out of bounds. Oh, super contest this. Great game of footy on O&M Live this afternoon. Round 5, the Tigers at home to the Maggies. Here's Blake Escott for McRae Motors.
So it's a 12-point margin. 68 plays 56 to the way of the Tigers. Third quarter action. We've played about 19 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Porter, he just lifted a little bit in this last couple of minutes. Went by hand to Sharrock. Quick kick inside 50. Through a couple of players. Gilmore, under a bit of pressure, just hacks it out of defence. It might come back as Jackson Clark has it for the Pies. Sweeping hand pass onto Warner. Too far from home.
Oh.
Beautiful kick inboard. Finds Michael Newton. Draws the claps from his teammates down on the bench. Kylie King for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, because they need a bit of momentum, haven't they? It sort of just felt a little flat for the last few minutes or so for the Magpies.
Big kick this for Juice. He's been thereabouts today. Obviously hasn't been able to hit the scoreboard as yet. Kicked 2 behinds, but it'd be really important if he can get this one through the mid-big sticks for the Magpies.
So he's kicking to the Botanic Gardens, Smollett Street end of the sports ground. Slide angle, 35 metres out, as cool as you like. Juice bangs through his first of the day. The Magpies bring that margin back to a goal. 62 plays 68. That's on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Tigers lead. And, well, Juice's couple of minutes. Jackson Clark is the one. He's up to 6 disposals in this third quarter. Dan Sharrock's up to 5 on the 40-wing stat sheet. If we have a look at the Albury side of things, 5 disposals each for George Hall and Smith and Elliot Powell in this third term as well. Been really, really influential, the midfielders for either side.
And back at the sports ground. So we've got about 20 and a half here. The Macca's time clock. Third term. Knowles and Muller broke even. Melville out of the middle. Big clearance for the Maggies. Calmore at the back. Ball at ground level. Lucas Conlon. Hack kick out of defence. Ball rolling. George Holland-Smith had one crack at it and then spat it out the back. Sharrock picked it up. Low ball going in. Porter's taken the mark. Swings around, puts it on the boot. One-on-one down there. Newton Conlon got a defensive fist to it. Bice after it. Power came in for the Tigers. Went to ground. Warner searching for it. Tried to knock it out to Ellis. Calmore dishes out now to Sharrock. Sharrock right foot snap bouncing. Yep. They've got it, the Maggies. They've hit the front. They lead by a point. 69 plays 68 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard.
Just a little fracas after that too, Lukey.
What's happened down there, Panda?
Oh, well, there was a few players converging down there in the goal square. I'm not sure who was involved, Freaky. You saw that one?
Oh, I only saw the end of it as well there too, Panda. I didn't see too much of it. I was just looking at the beautiful goal, the Dan Sharrock kick. We keep touching on Brad Melville and Hall and Smith, but Dan Sharrock's putting together a pretty good game as well for the Magpies. Up to 20 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet and kicking that goal there. He's been awesome. The combination of him and Melville in that midfield group today, and now Jackson Clark after quarter time is up to 13 disposals, have been really, really starting to put their fingerprints all over this game.
So 68 plays 69. That is on the Inspiration Paint scoreboard. 22 minutes played in the Macca's time clock, and you just heard the roar here when Dan Sharrock snapped through that Sunjan goal that a contender. What do the Tigers answer with now? Gaynor kick inside 50, looking for O'Sullivan. Good fist there from the Pies. Gothard grab without it, wins the free kick. He's too far out to score, the young fella. He's currently 54 or 5 metres. Coming around the back here, Riley Bice kicking from 55 metres and fists it across the line. Another spoil, Michael Bordenyong, and we've got a boundary throw in right next to the point post. Dangerous position here for the Tigers. They trail 10-8-68. The Magpies 10-9-69. That is on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. 23 played on the Macca's time clock in this third quarter.
Gee, Freaky, Gothard's a live wire, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been outstanding that across the half-forward line for Albury today.
Pushing free kick here in the contest. So it's going to go to Knowles for the Maggies. They're in the back pocket of the Hume Street end on the clubhouse side. Knowles, he wants to come out this way. Luke Daly just over his head past Dan Saunders. Saunders not happy.
Did get a finger on it though, Luke Daly. Forced a boundary throw in.
Probably not the right spot. You want your ruckman trying to kick across goal so close to goal.
What are you trying to say, Freaky?
Mate, I'm a big fella. I can't kick. Anyway, so...
Boundary umpire sends it in again. They're going to have to meet this ball. O'Sullivan. And then ball at bootlace level. Norton got a hand to it. Powell goes. Now he's caught at the bottom of the pack. He's in trouble. Umpire's going to ping him. And the ball's going to the Magpies. What do you think of that one, Panda?
Well, everything going the Magpies' way here at the moment. It's funny what momentum can do. Might quickly go around the grounds, Brad Freak, if you have a little bit of time. We'll go back to Freaky soon as the Magpies. Oh, Cal Moore flew about 5 deep, kick it to the centre wing. Harry Hewitt just left the footy behind at the last minute. Diving on this one is Hodgson. Moore's out the back of this contest, wants the boundary, gets the boundary. Speaking of the boundary, Kylie King for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, Cal Moore, lots of pats on the back for that desperate effort there, and he's really allowed them to regroup and reset up. So well done for him in that move.
If we go around the grounds quickly, Yarrawonga up by 16 points against Lavington. North Albury up by 18 points against Raiders. And Wodonga too good there for Myrtleford at the moment.
And the Maggies lead by a point here at the sports ground over the Tigers on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. And we're gone about 24 and a half in the third term on the Macca's time clock. Jake Gaynor with the ball just down in front of our broadcast spot. Got a brilliant view of this. Jake, the former Wagga Tiger, now Albury Tiger, on the boot and goes with about a 41 metre down the line to the half-forward flank. If that wasn't out in the floors deliberate, that would have been paid deliberate for sure, Panda. And it was by Sharrock. So Jake's getting another crack at it here. Take two, goes in.
Awful kick.
Yeah, trying to find Garlett. Murray Waite.
It sounded terrible off the boot too, boys.
Yeah, and Murray's got the ball here. Half-back flank for the Maggies.
Liked his game today, Murray Waite. He's done some good things. Kicks to half forward. Jackson Clark didn't fly. Conlon did. That's Lucas. Takes an intercept mark for the Tigers. Wants to switch the footy. Kicks it back to Jake Page. He's in his own defensive 50, but the switch is on. Just bounces off the chest of Mick Meneman here, but he's got enough time to go down the line. Not a great kick. Asked a lot there of Hillary. Goes in and puts a hip and shoulder on Ellis, who just stood his ground. Lots of players purge in, and we got a ball up far wing in front of the Albury Tigers Sports Club here. It's a 1 point lead to the Magpies. 10-9-69. The Tigers 10-8-68. It's a big 4 points in this round 5 SSNA Ovens and Murray game. We played 25 minutes in the Macca's time clock.
In this third quarter, Dan Sharrock's up to 8 disposals for the Wangaratta Magpies.
George Hawland-Smith fires it in, a real cannonball kick inside 50 at the Hume Street end for the Tigers. High ball going up. Smith sits under it. Good mark. He had to wait for it. He had to turn around too, do a 180, and he spits it out the other side. So Clark's got it. Low ball, 20 metres to Ellis in the sleeves, and then plays back on to Clark. So here are the Maggies driving it out of defence. Look at that long ball from Clark, but Lucas Conlon sits under it. So a bad turnover in the end. Lucas short to Hillary, and Tigers have it here. So the Maggies are getting back and clogging up the space, Freaky.
Yeah, they certainly are. The Maggies, they're working really hard defensively just to get out of this quarter and keep their noses in front of three-quarter time.
Hacked off the ground inside 50 here for the Tigers, but it's all Pies. Taking a nice intercept mark there was Bordenyong. Comes across to Murray Waite. So the Pies by a point. Late stages of this third quarter in the hands of McVeigh. Left half back, beautiful kick down the line. Finds Melville. He's at half forward. He's got Porter running to space, goes there. Good ball movement down the line. Porter plays on straight away, kicks it to a dangerous position down there, Laverty. Off hands, Conlon. Laverty tries to toe poke it forward. O'Brien calmly exits defence for the Tigers. He goes short to Powell, and he marks it half back, and he's got Garlett in an absolute paddock, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, and here comes Grossman off the bench. Panda, but Garlett had already taken the mark. Left foot, 25 into Kelly. Oh. Good footy. That was clean and crisp from Jeff Garlett. And Grossman just couldn't get there in time, Freaky.
No, he couldn't, definitely not. It's probably one of the better games I've seen Jeffy Garlett play. He's playing sort of a half-forward, half-back wing role. He's just been outstanding, I think, for the Tigers today. And some of his ball use at times has been awesome. He's had the chance to almost kick goal of the year earlier in the game as well, but unfortunately not. But, yeah, there's a massive kick here for the Tigers just to get their noses just in front of three-quarter time.
Yeah, so Kelly with a shot just beyond 50 on the broadcast side of the Hume Street end. This would give them a 5-point lead if he was to kick it. And as Blake Escott said, he's usually a good kick of the footy, and that is an absolute Barry Crocker. That is not a goal. 69-68, the Maggies lead at three-quarter time. What kind of game have we got in our hands here at the sports ground? Goodness, that third turn brought to you by Inspirations Paint. This is 1494 O&M Live, and don't worry, this is O&M Live, and with us, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Owned and operated.
O&M Live on 2AY.
Fourth quarter not far away from getting underway here at the Albury Sports Ground, and we have an absolute thriller between two really, really good sides. The Magpies lead by a point, 69-68 over the Albury Tigers. Brad Freak, who were our Optus quarters best in the third quarter?
Yeah, for the Albury Tigers in that third quarter, I've got to give it to Jeffy Garlett. I think he did a lot of really good things in that third term for the Magpies. He's playing a really, really solid game, Jeff. Probably one of the better games I have seen him play. And Jackson Clark for the Magpies. I think his third quarter, he really stepped up his game and got back to the Jackson Clark that we know of last year. He was outstanding. If we have a look at the 40-week stat sheet in that third term, again, it's been pretty even all day across the team stats. 5 centre clearances to 2 in favour of Albury in their third term. We had 13 inside 50s for Albury, 9 to Wangaratta. So Wangaratta just been able to take a little bit more advantage when they do that. If we look at the possession getters, Jake Gaynor, Elliot Powell and George Holland-Smith all had 6 disposals for Albury in their third term. And on the Wangaratta side of things, Dan Sharrock led the way with 8, so did Jackson Clark, and 5 to Brad Melville as well.
Kylie King, you were at the huddles at three-quarter time. What were the messages from the coaches?
Yeah, well, the Tigers very much are saying all this boils down to is how much do you want to need it? It's going to go down to the team that wants it the most, plain and simple. And they also had the message, how many fourth quarters have we won, lads? So it's really that motivational, keep that pressure on, back yourself, and who wants to play their role best? The wingers, we need to hold your ground. The backs are doing well, but the mids, we really need you hard and tough early on, was the message.
So Anthony Miles and Sean Daly, the coaching staff there at Albury, with a good final quarter message. Lukey Francis.
Go to you, Freaky.
Yeah, I was just going to say, boys, we watched Wangaratta a couple of weeks ago down at Yarrawonga, and they are an unrecognisable side from 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
They are look vastly more improved today. If they keep playing like this, they're well and truly going to be flying up the ladder pretty quickly.
Fourth quarter underway for Mac Jack Sheds. It's the Magpies by a point, 69 to 68. Do not go anywhere on 2AY's O&M Live and on O&M Optus TV. Hall and Smith just got it. Clearing hand pass, but the Magpies intercept. Laverty's going to mark this in front of Wilson. Plays on straight away like he's done all day. Goes inside
Beautiful.
50 with a bullet. And he finds Cal Moore 47 metres out directly in front. How about the delivery from Laverty, Freaky?
Yeah, he's been outstanding today. He's been awesome. Obviously coming in for Ben Reid today. The first time I've seen him play, and I've been supremely impressed with what he's been able to do in that forward half. They've got a real talent on their hands there. I think you said earlier, Pandy, he plays for the Murray Bush Rangers as well. You can see he's going to be a superstar.
So Cal Moore has kicked 2 goals. He'll kick from the paint of 50. Drop punt, absolutely loves it. Calmore's got 3, a Sunjan goal today contender, and a team-lifting goal for the Pies as they take a 7-point lead in this last quarter. We're doing it for Mac Jack Sheds.
Best thing by Laverty there was just turn and go. He's done it a couple of times today and just hit Cal Moore there, lace out, just got some space on Hamish Gilmore there and just got in front. And just the pace that he can just turn and wheel on that left foot, Lukey, and give his forwards the best option has been simply outstanding. Really noticeable for the young fella today.
Absolutely freaky, and can't Cal Moore absolutely thump them. He just drives his leg through the ball. That's a great finish. Back in the middle. What a contest between these two great clubs, the Albury Tigers and the Wangaratta Magpies. Here's Grossman tearing out of the middle and puts it on the right boot and sends it forward again for the Maggies. Moore again. So he's got 3. He'll be shooting for 4, and he'll probably strike the ball from right on the 50 arc, Freaky, at the Hume Street end.
Yeah, well, we've seen today he's going to have no problem with distance there. I'm just starting to wonder if Hamish Gilmore's the right matchup for him. A couple of times now, he's just been able to out-muscle him a bit. Obviously, Cal Moore, a big body. Hamish is getting there on his way, obviously a lot younger than him, but yeah, just now, Cal Moore just looks like he's really starting to impose himself on this game.
7-point lead of the Maggies on the border carpet scoreboard. Watch him strike this. Bang! Moore goes through it. He's missed it. Hits it behind. So the lead by 8. 76 to 68 the border carpet scoreboard. In the final term, we've gone... How far have we gone now, Panda? About 2 minutes on the Mac Jack Sheds McDonald's time clock, I should say.
So Lucas Conlon brings it in. Oh, Gilmore just dropped it, and the Magpies players converge on him. Conlon has to come back towards the broadcast side. On the last line of defence, Hodgson has the footy. Kicks it to Duncan in front of the old scoreboard. Hume Street end of the sports ground. Duncan goes down the line to Powell, who provides a lead. So they're still inside their own D50, the Tigers. Powell wants to switch the footy again. Hangs a long time in the air. Phoenix Gothard, the wingman, pushing back in defence. Onto Gilmore. So they have switched the footy, the Tigers, but the Magpies are covering it pretty well. Gilmore kicks it over the top to Hillary. He's got Gothard with great work rate on the wing. He was deep in defence before, takes a bounce, runs to half forward, kicks him inside 50, and it lands in the midst of Heiner Hennessy. He just fell in the hole, in the space, and he'll line up from 50 metres on a pretty tight angle.
I thought Murray Waite was nearly just about to close down on Phoenix Gothard there. I thought he did enough to just push him off his kick, but Colby Hennessy just filled in the hole into space. Obviously a little bit of a grubber kick with a little bit of a push that Murray Waite put on him, just fell into his lap there, and a massive kick here for the Albury Tigers early in this last quarter.
So Hennessy's got one, and he'll kick from in front of the netball court. It's tied up against the boundary. He strikes it. He likes it. And it's off hands for a minor score right on the last line of defence. The Tigers, 10-9-69. The Magpies, 11-10-76. There's a 7-point margin on the border carpet scoreboard. 4 minutes played in this last quarter.
Barrett at the fullback position. Every possession so important now. And comes out this side. Hodgson just got rid of Laverty and then played on to Page.
Holding.
Oh, no.
Free kick and 50.
Oh, gee. What do you think, Freaky?
The free kick was definitely there to start off with. Yep. I think that he threw him to the ground and the free kick was definitely there to pay off with. The 50, I'm a little bit, not too sure about.
Here goes Xavier Laverty and he loads up. Look at that. Lays it in there with the left foot. Tigers going back. Hennessy dropped it. Garlett spat it back out to Hennessy over the top to Hillary. So the Tigers will get out of trouble here. Or will they? Wait. Dropped it. Duncan goes. Jake Gaynor is there. He puts his head over it. Anderson came in to Wait. Quick handballs to Clark and then to Sharrock. They go in. Wide ball. Gilmore takes the mark and the Tigers are coming out again.
Plays on straight away, but his kick smothered. Smothered there by Michael Newton over the boundary line, and it's staying in attack for the Wangaratta Magpies. A boundary throw-in, Freaky.
I'm not too sure playing on there. It was the right option. All the Magpies had set up on that side of the ground. They had a lot of numbers behind the ball there already because the ball was already on that side of the ground. Might have just taken a little bit of sting out of it, but Maggie's good work from Newton to keep themselves inside forward 50.
7-point lead to the Pies. Last quarter action for Mac Jack Sheds on 2AY's O&M Live. Gaynor with a chiselling kick bounces off the chest of Hennessy. Stays in play just. Hennessy, great second effort and a great hand pass over to Duncan. Here come the run from the Tigers. Gothard, he's playing a good last quarter. Interesting kick. No one home there for the Albury Tigers. All their attackers have pushed up. Grossman marks at half back. He switches to the broadcast side. It's in the hand of Jackson Clark. The Pies lead by 7.
Clark to Anderson. And he's just right as centre wing on our broadcast side. And Mark, he comes in now and he gives it everything he's got. He's gone to Newton and also Lucas Collin, but Muller, the man mountain at the front, took the mark. Off to Wilson. Short one to Bice. So they're on their arc of the defensive 50. At the Hume Street end on the broadcast side. Now Riley goes to Hodgson in the 7 Guernsey for the Tigers. Yellow and black, they hold possession. Short one to Jake Gaynor. So they haven't gained much territory here. So pretty methodical in the build-up. And now Jake is going to go with that dump kick. Now Knowles is in front spot. Muller and Bourdignon over the back takes the mark for the Maggies.
So Bourdignon at right half back wants to switch the footy. Barrett's got it. On his own defensive 50, hand passes inboard to Jackson Clark. Here's one asks a lot of Tyler Norton. Jackson Clark gets it back with a 1-2. Drilling kick inboard, finds Calmore. Marks in front of Hamish Gilmore. And Moore will line up for his 3rd shot in this last quarter. He's already kicked one major.
Really good follow-up work there by Jackson Clark, just between him and Barrett and then between him and Norton in the middle of the ground there. And an absolute missile of a kick straight to Calmore, the only man that could mark that. He's been outstanding in this last quarter. Calmore had a real big presence in the forward half. And Jackson Clark as well, he's already up to 4 disposals on the 40-week stat sheet.
So Calmore lining up for goal number 4, directly in front. He's nailed it. And the Wang Magpies have kicked the only couple of goals in this last quarter to take a 13-point advantage. They have broken this game open. And, well, that probably wasn't on the script at the Albury Sports Ground, Brad Freak. A massive goal for Calmore.
Yeah, the momentum in this game is well and truly shifted in favour of the Wangaratta Magpies. Their last probably quarter and a half have been outstanding. They're probably since half-time, they've been the better of the two sides after the main break. And this last term, they're really putting the foot down. Magpies have come back a couple of times when Tigers have got their noses in front. Let's see if the Tigers can come back this time.
High calibre footballer is Calmore. Top notch. Ball back in the middle of the Albury Sports Ground. Lights on. Here we go. Ball came down to ground level. Muller just got a kick to it. Ball up in the air, coming down. Sharrock just spilled it. Jake Gaynor dishes off to Hodgson, and then Hodgson goes very wide looking for Garlett, so he's got it. They really need something from this forward play, and then Garlett swings around, sends it in. Kelly, ball at ground level, off the ground. Bice has kicked it. 82 plays 75, so a 7-point margin the Maggies lead by on the Border Carpet scoreboard. A goal to Riley Bice. Macca's time clock's gone about 7.5 here in the final term. Last term brought to you by Mac Jack Sheds. Freaky, what a great goal.
Yeah, really well done there. Really quick kick by Riley Bice. A few appeals for a touch there by the Magpies defenders, but goal umpire straight onto it there, called a goal, and since he called a goal, there wasn't a lot of complaints. So really good goal there for the Tigers. Get the margin back to 7 points in this last term. It's full of momentum swings, as we see there. If you get the ball out of the middle of the ground, you can get a quick set shot if you can move the ball quickly.
Breaks a run of 4 straight Wangaratta Magpies goals. And it's back to 7 points. The Tigers trail. Good hands there by the Pies. Intercepting here, O'Brien for the Tigers. Kicks one to half forward. And it's fallen in the lap there of... Who's got Hall and Smith? So Hall and Smith has marked at half forward. 49 metres. He's kicked a couple of majors already. He sits it to the hot spot. Muller down there resting forward. Off hands. Knowles just left it behind there for the Pies. He has to get rid of it now. He's dived on it. Umpire said high. Big call, that one. And a free kick to Chris Knowles. Deep in defence for the Wangaratta Magpies. Holding on to a 7-point lead here. His kick off the chest of Sharrock. Still in D50. Van Berlo with a cool kick down the line. Saunders not able to mark. Bice just put him under pressure. Not sure he hand passed that one there. O'Brien just hacks it off the ground to Garlett. Off a step. Not a great kick, Garlett. No one home there for the Tigers. Barrett able to take a defensive mark. The Pies by 7.
And he wants to push it to the outer side quickly, Barrett. Ball put down. And then it comes back to McVeigh. And he goes short. They move it out. So that was Hewitt. And then down the line he goes to Melville. Freaky Melville. 40 wing stats.
He's coming up for his 22nd of the game.
He's been very good. And then a low driving kick out towards the clubhouse side. Moore picks it up. He's playing a blinding quarter. Just got a handball out of the pack. Porter, he's got time. Ellis provides a shepherd. Inside now to Hewitt. Hewitt runs on. Can the Maggies get another? They're looking at their 13th. He's got it. Hewitt's kicked it. Harrison's absolutely pumped. 88 plays 75. What a game, and got it on our hands at the sports ground on the Border Carpet scoreboard. Macca's time clock's gone about 10 minutes in the final term. We'll go down to Kylie King for the Newmarket. This is great to watch, Kylie.
Oh, it's amazing to watch. Jeffy Garlett's just come off the ground just then, so perhaps that was for that wild snap that he took, who knows, or just a planned interchange break.
Beautiful handball from Dane Porter out towards the boundary side. Got the ball back into space a little bit more to get into Hewitt in the middle of the ground there to line up and kick that goal. Really good play there from the Maggies in that passage then.
Back in the middle. And then Moore thought he got torn off the ball. Umpire said play on, coming towards our broadcast side here on centre wing. Oh, Saunders. Luke caught one high. And the umpire's going to play it now. O'Hara didn't like it. I think he thought he ducked into it. Now 50, Freaky.
Yeah, it was definitely too high, the initial free kick, but then Braden O'Hara went on with a little bit more and got him into probably another little bit of a headlock after that as well. Probably a little bit... Definitely wasn't needed to do that situation there. The initial free kick was already given. Didn't need to probably carry on with it a little as he did there. Looks like now with a decent 50, Saunders can have a bit of a shot at goal here.
Yeah, they could really pay the price for that one, Freaky. So 88 plays 75. Luke Saunders with the ball. By the time he makes contact with the Sharon, to be right on the 50 arc. He gets around a little. Now he wants to set it up to the hot spot. Hodgson back there takes the mark for the Tigers, and they come out.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful smother there by Juice again. That's the second time in this last quarter that he's thrown his body at the kicker from Albury and just kept the ball inside the forward 50 for the Magpies and be able to lock it in and potentially kick another goal here.
Gee, it's dark here, even with the lights on. Freaky, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. It can get a bit hard to see the other side of the ground. Luckily, the Maggies have got their class jumper on.
Boundary umpire comes in. Newton, Muller, ball goes to ground. Ellis and Jones meet. That was Alex. And then Wilson dishes out to Hillary, smothered by Ellis. O'Brien goes in. Clark ends up with it. and then dropped it in the end once she was grabbed. Alex Jones, Dan Saunders, holding. And the ball is going to go to the Albury Tigers and Alex Jones. So Jones with it. And he wants to get it out to the far side. He's taken on a couple of Maggies, then dishes off to Bice. Lucky he turned up in time. Hillary, look at a ball pin rounding around. Ends up with Clark. Clark gets it out to Laverty, ducking, weaving. Wilson. It ends up in the hands of, and he gets it quickly on the left boot. Now Luke Daly's in pursuit of it. Saunders is there. And then Norton, Garlett's after him, worries him out of it. Garlett goes off the ground, inside 50. O'Sullivan brought to ground in a strong tackle.
Oh!
And he's been pinged, has he?
Yeah, for a dumping tackle. And the umpire not in there has just paid a 50 as well. So
Bourdignon involved as well. Oh,
and the Magpies bench cannot believe it.
Yeah, you almost feel like there's a goal kicked to the Tigers through George Hall and Smith.
Connor O'Sullivan.
Connor O'Sullivan it went to. So he was right on the line. So George Hall and Smith was behind him. I was watching further up the ground. Now, Freaky, you almost feel like some of the bench players on the bench are going to run on here. That's how vocal it is.
Yeah, emotions are definitely running high here at the moment. That free kick was very touch and go for a dumping tackle there. Mick Bourdignon, obviously in the heat of the moment, obviously, but you can only imagine that 50 was for abuse or umpire abuse in the heat of the moment. But yeah, it's funny that the umpire that wasn't closest to the play, Lukey, didn't pay that 50. It was the umpire away from the play.
We've had a couple of these today.
Yes,
it's been interesting. So if you just joined us, 13-10-88, the Maggies lead the Tigers 12-9-81, and we're gone up close to 14 in the final term for the Maccas time clock. Back in the centre. And then ball hacked out by Sharrock. Bouncing ball, Anderson on the boot. Left foot heading towards the sticks. I reckon he might have it. Oh, he has. He has all right, so they get away a little again, the Maggies. 94 plays 81 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. And Freaky, as you said, this is a completely different Magpies outfit we've seen today. They're awake from their slumber.
Oh, they certainly are. They look full of run, full of energy today. They are right on top of their game. They could even be. You can see just the way that they are celebrating goals on the side of the boundary lines. They know how important this game is for them today. And you can just sense the energy within the Magpies group coming off the ground, that they feel like they're up and about and they feel like they're right in this contest. Obviously, we're now with a 13-point lead after 15 minutes in this last quarter.
So a massive left foot snap from Mark Anderson, who's pushed forward. What a game of football here on 2AY's O&M Live. A beauty. Sharrock, did he grab Hall and Smith high? Umpire said no. So this game in last quarter for Mac Jack Sheds is completely blown open. Toss back up. Muller not able to get the tap down. Sharrock off a step, kicks it to half forward. Odd, nice little toe poke there from Melville. Comes out here to Grossman, who pumps the Magpies back into attack. Newton in a tussle down there with Conlon. Spills out the back to Page. Coming through here with pace was Warner. Well done there by Bryden Hodgson. Just to get in his way at the last minute. O'Brien's hand pass was interesting. Picked up here by Anderson. Tight snap on the boundary. Through for a minor score. So the Magpies pressing. They lead by 14, 95-81 as we tick up towards the 16th minute mark in this last quarter on the Maccas time clock. We're doing it for Mac Jack Sheds.
Kylie, what about the atmosphere down there for the Newmarket?
Oh, it's certainly a lift from the Magpies' point of view. The Tigers got a little quiet, as you'd imagine, but Anderson, how lively has he been in the last few minutes?
Yeah, he's been great. Clark, O'Sullivan, and the umpire letting this go a long time, and he's picked a free kick out of it.
You always get the sense when there's been a little bit of time, Lukey, you always feel like the umpire's about to pay a holding the ball free kick.
Exactly, Freaky. A pause now. O'Brien's trying to milk the free kick.
Yeah, was a little bit of a push into the mid-drift of O'Brien there. I'm not too sure how actually hard that was.
Plays on, then a low ball in, and just hit the ground level. It's coming back out, bouncing ball in for the board, and over his head. Anderson taken to ground by McMenamin. The umpire will call this one, and we will ball it up. So 95 plays 81. The Maggies up. McDonald's time clock has gone about close to 17 pounder here in the final term.
Doing it for Mac Jack Sheds. What a win this would be for the Wangaratta Magpies. They've been battered from pillar to post. A slow start to the season. They lead the Tigers by 14 at the sports ground. Jesse Wilson takes an intercept mark on centre wing. Kicks down the line looking for Heiner Hennessy. Good tussle between him and McVeigh. Gothard does well. Wins a free kick for a hold at half forward. He's going to go back. You need to come around on your mark here, Phoenix. So he's 65 from home, broadcast side, in front of the old grandstand here at Albury. He plays on. Kicks it deep into attack. Coming hard here, Muller! Isaac Muller with an elite body and paint mark of the day. Has taken a big pack mark. He will line up from 35 metres out in a 45-degree angle.
He's been filling in that hole quite a lot today, in the back line and in the forward half. That's probably the first time he's clung to one of those big pack marks today, Isaac Muller. He's been really, really fighting hard in the ruck for him. He's been really good for the Tigers today. Let's see if he can get a goal for him here when they need one.
So Isaac Muller will line up from 35, getting a fair bit of advice from the Wangaratta Magpies away fans. And he's kicked it out on the full. Has Isaac Muller. Not a great kick at all. And no score to the Albury Tigers. 12-9-81. The Magpies 14-11-95. The Pies by 14. We have played 19 minutes of the Maccas time clock in this last quarter. Action for Mac Jack Sheds.
Cam Barrett. Long out of defence. Who's under this? Look at the players go up. Powell picks it up. Rows the pack beautifully. Gets it out to O'Brien. O'Brien then sends it down the line. 30-metre kick. Jackson Clark picks it up though for the Magpies. And he comes away and gets a low driving kick up towards centre wing on the far side or the clubhouse side. And the ball has gone out of bounds as we go to Brad Freak on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, Jackson Clark up to 9 disposals for 40 winks in this last term.
So 95 plays 81. The Maggies up. If you've just joined us on 1494 2AY and O&M Live, we treated to an absolute ripping spectacle this afternoon. Big fist away out of the ruck. Norton. He's claimed by two Tigers. Gaynor and Heiner Hennessy grab him. And he's been brought down. And we will have a ball up, Panda.
So a 14-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies. 1-3 coming into this game. The Tigers undefeated. Must-win game for the Magpies. The Tigers go forward, and a good fist there from Bordenyong. Sees it over the boundary line in front of the Terry Cross can bar here at the sports ground. Looks like Isaac Muller, Freaky's pushed forward in this last little bit.
Yeah, get themselves another target, obviously without Jacob Conlon down there today. Just try and stretch the Wangaratta defence.
So a boundary throw in. 4 to centre here for the Tigers. They need the next in this one. Very dark here at the sports ground. Quick hat kick forward there by Harry Hewitt. Lands in the arms here of Brad Melville, who's played some sort of game. His numbers, Freaky.
He's coming over his 23rd of the game.
So Melville on the far wing just goes short. It's in the hands of Luke Saunders. In front of the old, beautiful grandstand here at the sports ground. Kicks it down the line and finds Harry Hewitt, who kicked a big goal in this last quarter. The Pies by 14. 20 minutes played in this last quarter for Mac Jack Sheds.
Hewitt goes in. Long ball. Wilson went back with the flight. Cal Moore just grabbed it. And then Page went to ground. Moore went again. Newton off to Melville. Right foot snap across the face of goal. Bouncing in front of Garlett. Ball's gone out of bounds here on the broadcast side. Freaky at the Hume Street end.
I've got to say, Michael Newton probably hasn't had a lot of footy in this last quarter, but just some of the little things he's done to keep the ball in motion in the Wangaratta forward half. A couple of smothers, little handball out to Brad Melville there. He's been really influential without having a lot of the footy in this last term.
14-point lead to the Maggies on the Border Carpet scoreboard. We've gone about 21 minutes on the Macca's time clock in the final term at the sports ground. What a venue it is. Here we go. What's going to happen? Garlett from the ruck contest on the boot. Bordenyon and also Luke Daly clash. Clem Barrett tried to get it out to Luke Saunders. Over the top now and then came to ground. Warner tried hard. Hewitt's in there. He stands over it. And Jake Page was at the bottom of that contest, and the umpire has called for it. The call to Kylie King, Brad Freak, Blake Escott, and Luke Francis, brought to you by McRae Motors this afternoon.
Gaynor just punches it forward here for the Tigers. They need the next one. They need it quick. Heiner Hennessy on the boot, pretty quick to half forward. Daly in a tussle there with Barrett. Daly does really well. Tries to keep the footy in. Hodgson hand passes it to Daly, who kept running. He's got to get it on the boot pretty quick. Scrubs it inside forward 50. O'Brien. Bourdignon, was it? Yep, it was Michael Bourdignon. A game-saving tackle in defence. Wins a free kick for the Pies, who might hold on in this one and record a famous victory. 14 points they lead, 95 to 81. 24 minutes played in this last quarter. That's on the Macca's time clock. We're doing it for Mac Jack Sheds.
Yeah, what a win this would be in the context of their season. The Maggies, they're in front. Wilson got it along the ground to O'Brien, but the Tigers are not done with yet. Ordinary kick was smothered. And then Melville steers it inboard to Sharrock. Umpire said play on, it was touched, so Sharrock has to go again. Dishes up now to Norton on the left foot. And then coming in was Hewitt to Porter. Hands it off to McVeigh. Page is right on his tail and they send it forward. Ball about to bounce. McMenamin comes tearing out. Look at that. Clever play over the top to Heiner Hennessy. Across the shoulder, so they get the advantage paid, the Tigers. Down towards Luke Daly in a one-on-one with Bourdignon. Ball's gone out of bounds. Oh, this has been just super panda to watch here. We've been very lucky here on O&M Live and 1494 2AY. We've been treated to a great game.
How good has Michael Bourdignon been in this last quarter, Bradford?
Yeah, outstanding. A lot of spoils, just getting the ball deflected towards the boundary, doing all the 1%ers for Wang.
So a 4-goal to 2 quarter so far in favour of the Wang Maggies, holding on to a 14-point lead. This would be a wonderful victory for their football netball club, who have done it tough so far in season 2023. Coming here to the Albury Sports Ground, the toughest place to play footy. The Pies have only won here once in the last decade or so. There's a whistle and a free kick here. And it's going to go the way of the Magpies. I have no idea what that for. Freaky.
Way off the ball, holding free kick, Freaky.
Yeah, it must have been in the against one of the Albury forwards in the right back of defence, because it was the umpire right down that end of the ground that gave the free kick away.
And ball is rolled out just under the clubhouse. We'll go around the grounds very shortly. Freaky, you'll have a look at that. Kylie, how are you going down on ground level?
Oh, look, trying to keep warm, that's for sure. And it is dark, as you guys have mentioned. But, yeah it's just got a little flat. You're going to get the sense that, the Tigers have, ready to not give up. But, they can sense that it's not gone their way.
Kylie King for the Newmarket, that great establishment. With us down on ground level. Bouncing ball. Clark scooped it up on the half volley. Got it off to Hewitt. Hewitt gets the hands off to Sharrock. Sharrock right foot squaring ball. Bouncing in front of Warner. Picks it up now. McMenamin tried to grab him. Duncan came in. Sharrock goes again. Dishes out to Ellis. Ellis under pressure. Hurried kick. Anderson and McMenamin meet it. O'Hara off the ground. Alex Jones picks it up. He gets a long kick out to the outer side. Page. And now the Tigers are away here. Gothard. Look at him go. He's got some pace. Inboard to Page. Back to Gothard. The Tigers, can they keep themselves alive here in the final term? Gothard. Oh, he's just missed. Gee, Freaky, that was terrific play. 95 plays 82 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. McDonald's time clock has gone just over 25 minutes in the final term, and we're doing it for Mac Jack Sheds.
Yeah, around the grounds in the Ovens and Murray. Yarrawonga too good for Lavington, and North Albury get their first win for the year over the Wodonga Raiders.
Cam Barrett kicks out of defence for the Magpies. And will look like we might have a boundary throw in on that far side of the Albury Sports Ground. So the Magpies are going to record a wonderful victory and keep their top 3 chances alive. 95 plays 82 at the moment. A 13-point lead. 26 minutes played in this last quarter. It would take something almighty from the Albury Tigers. Isaac Muller with the tap down. Ball at ground level. And we're going to have another stoppage at half forward here for Albury. Far side of the ground. It's been a wonderful game of football, Freaky and Lukey. It's been an awesome encounter.
Has been.
Certainly has been.
Last quarter action for Mac Jack Sheds. Beautiful tap down from Isaac Muller on the boot to Gaynor. Off the chest of Gothard. Hand passes it back to O'Hara. His kick was smothered, I should say. Norton goes in there. Hand passes it to Bourdignon, and the Pies clear through Saunders.
They do. Sharrock. In fact, Porter sits under it, and he wants to take all the time in the world. Does Dane, and then moves it to the outer side. Ball with Knowles. 95 plays 82. It's going to be a super win for the black and white.
easily be one of the better than any win that they had last year.
Yep.
I'd say today. A lot of guts, determination, come back a few times against this Albury side who've been outstanding all year, but to beat them here at their home deck is an outstanding victory for the Wangaratta Magpies.
Luke Saunders takes the mark. Luke Daly right on him, but Saunders has got it. And the umpire has paid him the mark, and he has it on the back flank for Wangaratta.
If you just joined the broadcast on 2AY and O&M Optus TV, the Pies 95, the Tigers 82. Look what it means to the Wangaratta Magpies, who have come to the sports ground and beaten the Tigers in a famous victory for Ben Reid and the Pies. Backs against the wall, and a wonderful victory for the Wangaratta Magpies on a cloudy, rainy, cold May afternoon at Albury. And now we have the task of selecting our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. 95-82, a massive win, Lukey, for the Wangaratta Magpies.
Yeah, big effort, Panda, from the Maggies. As you said, travelling up the highway today to the Albury Sports Ground, no win comes easily here at this beautiful venue, and they've been too good. They've taken it out. So very shortly we'll head down to ground level and catch up with Kylie King and just find out who our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day is. And Kylie and Brad Freak have got one heck of a hard job trying to sort it out, I reckon, Panda.
Oh, Dan Sharrock was pretty awesome. Callum Moore kicked 4 goals.
I'd have to give it to Moore.
I'd have to give it to Callum Moore. When the game was on the line in the last quarter, he bobbed up and kicked the first 2 goals of the game. First 2 goals of the last quarter, and he was unbelievable. So for me, I think when the game was on the line, Cal Moore won the game and was the most influential player for the Wangaratta Magpies.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Peter. That's just describes... the way you described that was taking the game off the scruff of the neck, where it had to be won. He stood up for his team and he delivered in spades. So I'd make it Cal Moore. So we'll have to see what Kylie and see whether Kylie and Brad agree with us, so Peter.
Oh, controversial, lads. We're just saying, Brad Freak, he's struggling to actually definitively declare who he'd like, but let's just see where the tide has turned. A couple of options, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of wonderful options, all in black and white. There's a couple of cheers Freaky. Now. Freaky has gone, I think it might be Brad Melville, is it?
No,
it's Dan Sharrock.
No,
Dan?
it's
yeah,
Dan
sorry,
Sharrock.
you had me second-guessing myself,
It's Dan
lads.
Sharrock, our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day, Kylie King.
Oh, Dan, a real team effort, but wow, what a result here at Albury's home ground.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we won last year here, and that was the first time in a while, and then today everyone was primed and ready to go, so it was a good result.
Yeah, you've been one of the best every game you've played, so your personal form's fantastic.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, we're a bit short in the mid there for a couple of weeks, but we've got a few boys back now, which makes it a lot easier, so it's been good.
What was the coach's message at three-quarter time? Because, my goodness, you came out like nobody's business and just fired away.
Yeah, I think all of us could feel something was coming, and we could feel that we almost had them. So when we put the foot on, and we got the result we wanted, so it was good.
And as a spectator, it was an amazing game to watch. Just when you thought you were down and out you came again.
Yeah, I know. The boys had a good fight in us, so it's we're pretty happy with this. As you can tell, everyone's pretty up and about. So it's a good, really good win.
Well, go and enjoy that song. I better not hold you up too long.
No worries. Thanks for that. Thanks, guys.
So the rain's just started falling here at the Albury Sports Ground, and a wonderful win for the Wangaratta Magpies, Ben Reid and crew. They've come to a place where they don't traditionally win too often, and they've recorded a famous victory. They move to 2-3, 13-point margin, 95-82 over the Albury Tigers, as Ben Reid just jumps on the ground, hugs all the boys. Look at what it means to him, Luke Francis. A wonderful win for the Wangaratta Magpies, and no doubt they will sing this song very, very loud.
Yeah, good on them, and they should celebrate tonight because that was a super win. Didn't we stitch up Kylie? As soon as the siren went, she took off out there and it started pouring down rain again, Kylie.
Right.
Hey, look at her. She's got her arms out.
Singing in the rain.
She's a spirit indeed. So what a win for the Magpies. What does this do for their belief, Freaky?
Wonders for their belief. Obviously, they had a very slow start to the year, everybody knows about. They had a really tough off-season, again, everybody knows about. But yeah, today's win, it makes you think that they're back. The way they played today against a side that a lot of people in the opening few weeks of the season thought are premiership fancies, to come to their home deck and put that type of performance on the park. It's hard not to think that they are back the way that they played today.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Freaky. And listen to them, hooing and haaring, and they're just about ready to go. The Wang Magpies, as Blake Escott said, a famous victory at the Albury Sports Ground. Let's have a listen.
Wangaratta Magpies, a famous win for their football and netball club. They've come to the sports ground and they've beaten the Tigers 95-82. Wowee. Dan Sharrick, our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. Remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.